cat cam. Cat cam jump scare. Look at the cat, look at the cat. And she's gone. Well, I'm still here. I got Malort. Anyone want some Malort? Nice! Before we get too carried away, congratulations, Tadadu, on getting a 3-stream streak while being first. You did it. I am one of the people that did not stream over Sakuracon weekend, so I didn't break my own stream streak. Anywho, I'm gonna pour the Malort. I'm not gonna drink too much of it yet, but long stream today because I am going to be recounting all of the glories and stories that I can recall that happened last weekend at the convention. Tadadu was there with me. I was his roommate. Spoiler alert, I did not sleep well at all. I think he slept pretty good. But let's just get right into it, shall we, now that cat cam is gone. For those who don't know, Sakuracon is the largest anime convention in the Pacific Northwest. And it takes like 3 buildings. It's huge. There's a lot of walking involved unless you stay in one building for whatever reason. There's a lot of panels, a lot of fun stuff. And normally when I go to a convention, I'm too caught up in all the cosplayers to actually do anything else. So this year I have made the conscious effort. I already have pictures of cosplayers up the kazoots. I'm gonna do things instead. Now, that's not to say I didn't get any photos of cosplays. This slideshow is, how long is this slideshow? 180 pictures long, so slightly shorter than my other recaps. I've only been to one, and one cosplayer stunk up the place. It was me, my bad. I'll drink to that. I actually packed 2 sticks of deodorant, just in case I lost one. One of them was brand new. I made sure to shower every day. It's like the most I've ever showered. I don't cosplay, but it sounds like me. Bruh, last year at one of the panels, I sat next to that stereotypical mouth-breathing land whale that hasn't showered in forever. And I just got up and moved seats away. I don't care if he felt offended or not. He sat down next to me and I'm all like, ugh. Con BO is a thing. You do not want to be that guy. And given how I have a different Ness shirt for every day, I think I'm good. I had a full range of clothes. But with plenty further ado, let's get started with the very beginning of the adventure. Freeren! Volume 2! Shower during con days? Waste of time? I showered before I went to bed. That's what I do. But for those who don't know how I'm reading Freeren, I am going at the brisk pace of 1 volume a year. Last year, I borrowed volume 1 from a friend. Said friend is also the same friend that introduced me to this convention. And I thought we should carpool to the train station since you're leaving to go back home since you live pretty close to the train station anyway. He has the luxury of just hopping on the train, going back to his house, and then coming up the next day on the train. I live very, very far away, so it's better for me to room in the hotel that's very close to the convention center. And that's what Tadadu and I did together. Also, full disclosure, I have the Artemis 2 Splashdown livestream on First Monitor, so if I start getting super distracted, that's why. You should have the stream up too. This is a historical moment. I'm streaming now because this is the best time for me to do this particular stream. But it also just so happens to be the time that the first manned mission to the moon in 50 years is reaching its conclusion. This boy loves space? Yes, I do. But yeah, I met up with my friend and I exchanged volume 1 with volume 2. So I am going to probably read volume 2 a bit quicker. Would you send me the stream? Sure, I'll DM it. Here. Second. Yoink. Oh, there you go. You know what? I'm just gonna plop it in Nestcore General. There. Bam. Spain? Spain? What do you mean Spain? What does Spain have to do with anything? When did I say Spain? Huh? Huh? I'm I'm not even drunk yet. What? I'll drink to that. No one did. Yo, both said. Anyway. Freeren is nice. Spoiler alert. I think Freeren was the most popular cosplay, but not by much. There was so much diversity in cosplay. I remember 2 years ago, the main cosplay, about half the cosplayers were Genshin, which is not bad, but it's nice to see that the main cosplay being Freeren being so marginal. I only got a picture of 3 Freerens, I think. I didn't get many photos this year. I was crazy once, didn't change. Yo, same! But yes, I am very much looking forward to reading Freeren Volume 2. But anyway, let us proceed. My friend and I, we drive to the train station, and I get to the line to get my badge. Look at these lines. These lines are the equivalent of the line you have to get in to date me. Oh, you want to be with me? Get in line. These are the lines. My friend that I rode with, he is one of the panelists, and I will be talking about his panel throughout the stream. Or when we get there. It took him 20 minutes to get his badge. I walked in, I walked up one of the empty lines, and as I was approaching, the empty line next to me put up their serving next customer or whatever sign. They pulled up the sign, and right as I approach the booth to get my badge, I make a sidestep to the guy holding up the sign, saying, "Sorry, this guy had the sign up." Then I got my badge from him. I cut 0 people. See that guy at the end of the line? That's me. Maybe. But yeah, I got my line really quick. I got my badge really quick, but I waited for my buddy to get his badge. So ultimately, I just stood in this position for 20 minutes. And I took this photo because I arrived here. This photo was taken at around 8 a.m. Friday morning. Meet any new people? Oh, that question will be thoroughly answered by the end of this stream. Let him get to it. You can ask questions. It is okay to ask questions, especially stupid questions. I'm drinking and we're having a good time. Now, question. That is a statement. You meet May? Did you squeamish him? I have not met May, but if I did, I would definitely... He's taller than me. I would have to reach up to squeamish him, but it's fine. Escalator, I hardly know her. We spent the nobody's at con yet hours before stream just wandering the exhibit, and I took this opportunity to get some pictures of the venue. This is what the entrance to the vendor hall looked like before the doors opened. There's a lot of banners up advertising new seasons of anime. Bro, I'm barely 1 inch taller. Calm the fuck down. Listen, I am very particular about height differences, okay? I autistically memorized all of the HoloLive's heights down to the centimeter. But don't worry about that. This is the vendor hall, and I'm gonna say, looking at the vendor hall before it opens and seeing it eerily vacant with everything there is uncanny. I am so used to seeing it so crowded you can barely even walk through it. But centimeter, I hardly got. Okay, I have taken sufficient sips. Let's do this. At the side entrance to the main building, called the Summit. The main building's called the Summit Building. The other building is called the Arch Building. I'll be using that terminology throughout the stream, probably. But you're free to ask again, because I don't expect you guys to memorize that. This year, they set up these Sakura trees that have LED pink lights that light them up like this. And at night, they are beautiful. You will see a picture of me standing next to them later in the stream. But I thought it was a fantastic touch. These were set up in both the Summit as well as at the top floor of the Arch Building. And holy crap, I really like it. Because not only are these trees here, near my house actually the Sakura trees have bloomed down the road. It's Sakura season. Sakuracon is always held on Easter weekend, and that's perfect timing. Sometimes it's raining, but I am so happy that this year it didn't rain. Despite living in one of the rainiest states in the mainland United States. Blech. We get to the hotel. This is my view from the hotel. It's about 9 a.m. now. and you didn't send you pictures? You're looking at the pictures! Do you want me to just send you this whole album? Man, we don't have any Sakura trees around here. That's unfortunate. Yukino, if you want to see my unedited photo album, I can totally send it to you. But it's fine. We're revealing the photo album now. This is the view from the hotel room. We're on the 20th floor of the Yacht Regency. Yes, send you after stream. I will send it to you after stream. Right now, we're going through them, and I'm recalling my stories. Just like last year, Tadadu arranged and requested such that the room, which has a single king-size bed, would have a side bed brought in, like a futon. And it's like a straight-up twin-size dorm mattress, complete with a pillow and everything. And honestly, it's not a bad arrangement. They make beds my size. So Tadadu got a king-size mattress all to himself, and I get the window seat. I prefer having the bed near the window, or at the very least, alongside a wall corner. This bed was both. So it satisfied that autism of my sleeping arrangement. Moving on. Okay, so before we get into the actual convention itself, it was around this time that I went down to the convention area. You could barely see it from here, but I pulled out my flute and I started busking outside the front entrance. However, half an hour after I started, an electric violin guy set up and just started playing over me. And I reacted to this in the Discord, saying, wow, I didn't realize that there were turf wars in busking. I didn't want to step on anyone's toes. But that was my first impression of street busking in Seattle. Over me, I never heard of that. God! But keep that story in mind about electric violin guy. I also learned that my portable speaker that I brought is extremely quiet. I will be bringing a much louder speaker in the future, such as to Offkai. But I brought a little portable speaker, and you can't even fucking hear it. I couldn't even hear it outside. It sounds loud indoors, and by that I mean in this small room I'm in and in my bathroom. But at full blast, you can't hear it, which sucks, but I tried. First cosplay? Tenna. Straight up Tenna. I saw 3 different Tennas, but this is the only one I got a picture of. I'm so glad my first cosplay was with Tenna. Tribit makes some good ones. You should link me. If you guys have a good portable speaker that is loud and decent quality, I have a budget. It's fine. I think my soundbar, which is similar to the iHome, it's just a soundbar. It's kind of old, but it works. I think that'll definitely be loud enough. That hurts my ears if I turn it up any higher than halfway. So, if it's loud enough to do that, I think it'll be fine outdoors. Anyway, I found this Tenna. Now, its TV time is in my trumpet repertoire, but in my backpack right now, at time of photo, was the flute. I saved my trumpet for evening busking and carried my flute around because it's a lot more acceptable to play a flute indoors than it is a trumpet indoors. And I will get to more flute indoor busking during the Saturday coverage. I didn't get to do much flute busking on Friday, which is where we're at in the timeline, other than that morning session, because that electric violin guy really discouraged me. I'm all like, damn, okay, this is fine, I guess. I found myself on my way to the first panel that I wanted to go to at 10:30. We found the Mahjong area, and they set up the Mahjong business lady girl character, and I'm all like, Tadadu, get a photo! Bonk the business lady, because she's corpo! Yes, that is me in the photo. There are about 3 unedited photos of me in this, and this is one of them. So, have fun doxing me, I guess. Oh yeah, this is me, and this is how I feel about Mahjong now. Ow! Why would you do this? First panel, I skipped the opening ceremony to come to the Fire Emblem panel, and this room filled up fast. I'm glad I got there when I did. It was a pain in the ass finding this room, because it was on the near the summit side arch building that doesn't have the main stuff in it.
The other day me and the buddy went to play golf.
Golf?
On the 3rd hole he said, let's make this interesting.
Okay.
So we stopped playing golf.
Yo, them fighting words for 2K. If 2K was here, because he likes golf. I like mini golf. I am a mini golf aficionado. You sign me up to play mini golf, and I am so there. Let's fucking do it. Real full-size golf? I can't do it. But mini golf, we're gonna make it fun as hell. Affectionado? Affectionado? How the fuck do you say it? Okay, listen. As a streamer, it is my civic duty to mispronounce common words. Not real golf, why not? I've never tried. It just doesn't seem like something I could get behind. Aficionado? Affectionado. A fish and chips. So this is the Fire Emblem panel where our Micaiah cosplayer went through all of the, and I do mean all of the localization choices in every single Fire Emblem game, and it was a good panel. What better guy to do it than an actual Fire Emblem tuber who has done some crazy shit, like a he said he has a full drunk Radiant Dawn playthrough on YouTube. Where's my ado? You got my attention with that word? Not in this stream. Skull Candy makes outdoor speakers. I remember having Skull Candy earbuds way back in the day. I don't do earbuds anymore. Do you get your footsie stuck in the hole? Why do you have to phrase it like that? Jeez. In Bono's server, somebody brought up the freaking feet-flavored gamer sups or some shit like that. I don't freaking know. Ado? Close enough. There's your silly ocarina anime opening. By the way, I did busk with the ocarina Saturday night. Or was it Friday night? We'll get to that. The new tub art for anime girl thighs. Anime girl feet. Time to feet in this stream is 21 minutes. We've done better. We've done much better. Got Ado into the stream? Well, that was... How many Zelda requests did you get? We'll get into that. We will get into that. But yeah, this was the panelist, and I got to take a picture with him. As you can see, I am very small, smaller than Micaiah Fire Emblem. But because the badges this year did not contain any personal information whatsoever, just a badge number and that's it, I felt a lot more comfortable taking pictures with cosplayers instead of cosplayers. And you'll find that the majority of pictures I've taken, I'm in them. I will happily do photo edits if it means more interaction. Boy, you got a tummy. Squeamish Motherfucker called me fat. I'm like 145 pounds. Yes, I'm I'm heavier than what my driver's license says. But what the fuck, dude? God damn. Okay. This is what I get for getting a shirt that fits. Also, there were other Fire Emblem cosplayers that I also got a photo with. You're 170 as of last night? Well, that's going down the way you're working out. Jeez. Right outside? Well, during the convention, I saw him. I was like, I need to get a photo with the Rosado. Would I be a cosplayer you want to take a picture with? Yes. All the cosplayers I try to get pictures with. Might be muscle weight? Bro, this man is gaining muscle. Just like how I gained leg muscle over the course of the convention because, oh my god, I walk so much. My feet still kind of hurt. And it's been a week. Turns out, despite putting special insoles in my Nest shoes, walking around with them for 3 days straight still fucking hurts. Well, walking around with them for 1 day fucking hurts, but it's fine. But yeah, we got Rosado from Fire Emblem Engage. And last year at Offkai, I got high on Potanust at the closing ceremony because I muttered to taters when this particular Suisei took the stage as an MC. And I muttered, hey, it's the really tall Suisei again. And then the guy sitting next to me just shouted, hey, it's a really tall Suisei! And everybody laughed. And I'm like, you know what? That's fine. So I went up to him and asked, hey, are you that really tall Suisei from Offkai last year? And he's like, yeah. And I told him, yo, that was me that said that, but then the guy next to me shouted it. So I got a picture with the really tall Suisei. Thanks for kneeling down to my height. You can see how fucking short I am. Don't worry, there will be some great photos that really show off how fucking short I really am. Some of you have already seen them. If you guys don't know, I am small, okay? Anyway, let us continue. I found Mettaton, and I posed with the Mettaton. I love posing with cosplayers. That's always the funnest thing. If I try to if I see an opportunity to do any sort of creative pose whatsoever, I try to do it. And you'll get to see some of those in play later. It also just dawned on me, I did not get any Cloud Strife pictures this year. I saw like 3 of them, and I didn't get any. Can we pose for a second? Alright, let's go. I'm literally and objectively mid. This guy. Well, sounds like you should win the battle of mid then. Lamau. Lol. Then pose for us? How's this? Pose grab. Alright. This Waluigi is a real bro. He got the Waluigi mischievous confidence down pat. And I will be talking about him later in the stream. But this guy is so great. It's a shame I didn't get any of his contact info. He seems like someone I would happily dance for an hour with. Again. As long as I beat the wheel, I would consider it a win for yourself in the battle of mid. Understandable. Have a great day. That rose he has in his pocket is the Waluigi rose, and he knows how to hold it in his mouth. It is great. We found the Waluigi. We found the King of Games and Dark Magician Girl. I remember seeing Dark Magician Girl. I actually used to have a Dark Magician Girl card. And I thought it was really cute. And then I got scammed by one of my friends, and he claimed to have lost all of my cards after letting me borrow them. Motherfucker stole them. I was an idiot, but it's fine. Ooh, the girl I like. I mean, yeah, Dark Magician Girl is nice. Oh, wait. I gave him a Joker. I'll explain what I mean by that later in the stream. You're in the Magician deck? Nice. Vegeta! What does the scouter say about my power level? And after analyzing me for a bit, he says, well, you see, I'd say it's hovering around 9,001. I'm like, yeah! This Vegeta, everybody, wherever he went, people shouted, Vegeta! Very popular cosplay. He pulled it off great. I saw him every day, but this is the only photo I got of him. I know, when I saw him, I shouted, Vegeta! You can't just not shout Vegeta. Is that me? Is that me stronger than me? I'll fucking kill me! So this is what the vendor hall looks like with people in it. It's not super crowded, but there are people in it. No longer Uncanny Valley. This is a follow-up photo to the earlier photo. This was taken at around noontime, I think? Around there. I don't really timestamp these. Instead, take them as I go. This guy, as I was exiting the vendor hall, you will recognize this fucking guy whose name escapes me every time. This guy is the reason why I made it to Offkai 2024. I was lost in the airport, and he's like, you headed to Offkai? And I'm all like, yeah. He's like, I've been there before. Just follow me to the shuttle. And he took me to the shuttle, and since then, I have seen him at every convention I have been to. And I think he recognized me, and he's all like, oh, it's this guy again. And I'm like, yo, let's get a picture together. But there was no one around. So this was my attempt at a selfie. WTF? Yeah, I mean, I did get his business card and his socials, but they are somewhere. I think I put them away with the rest of my Offkai stuff that is not with me right now. But he does frequent pretty much West Coast conventions in general. So I'm glad I got to run into him again. I asked him, are you going to Offkai this year? And he said, yeah. I'm like, I will see you there. Let's freaking go. I really hope I see him again. Like, this is the fateful encounter. There are more fateful encounters later in the slideshow. So, I will say though, of the fateful encounters, this particular dude is in second place. There was one particular guy that I wanted to meet this year that I did get to meet and did get a photo with. Sounds like Ness needs a super cheap and light camera stand. That's fine. I found Sitlolly. There were 2 Sitlollies. One of them I got a picture last year, but not this one. So I found the Sitlolly. This is in the artist hall. The artist hall is the best place to find cosplayers. Just saying. Whoa, yeah, there are some really pretty cosplayers. Sitlolly, let's go. I saw a Nahida, but I couldn't get a photo of her. I'm sorry, May. I could not get the Nahida. This is one of the only free-run couples that I've seen. There were so many Freeren and Fern paired cosplays that Klee cosplay, I did not see one. I would drop everything to get a Klee cosplay. Actually, Yukino, I think I showed you the photo. Sakuracon 2024, I found a life-sized Klee costume. She was probably around 10 or 12 years old-ish, going to the convention dressed as Klee with her mom. And she looked the part and she owned it. It was wonderful. And I asked the mom I asked both of them if I could get the photo. Because it's one thing for her to give consent, but with the parent around and with a minor, you gotta get consent with all parties. Tactical Klee with the rotary grenade launcher, yeah! But yeah, this is one of many Freeren Fern cosplays, and they're really good. There were so many good ones. This is one of them, if you ask me. I found Chen! And I asked her to do the pose, and she delivered. I don't have 30K, but I have this photo. I just said, Chen, do the funny pose, and she did this! She knew exactly what I meant! It would be weird that you get in trouble in a con, but, I mean, I want to cover all my bases. Because of the way the world is now, just because I don't have $1 billion doesn't mean I'm taking certain photos for explicit content. Like, Hideo Kojima, for example. Those memes about Hideo Kojima diving into a subway right as it closes just to snap pictures of some subway girl's feet or some shit. Like, that... I've seen Blue Archive cosplayers where the professional photographers are getting the cosplayer and one photographer's just zoomed in on her feet. Like, bruh, we could put Ness in a Klee cosplay? That would be life-size too? Google, hold on. Klee cosplay, how much is it? Let's see what we got here. Ooh, under $13, $60. I could wear that. I could totally pull that off, holy shit. $60 for that? Wait, does it even fit me? Hold on. Costume size. Where's the sizing chart? Size. Women's size XL. Chest 91. Waist 70. Ooh, the waist is gonna be kinda tight. But it's a skirt, so it should be fine. Yeah, that actually fit me. Klee women's extra large would fit me. Out of stock? Fuck me! That's fine. Back on track. We got him. Listen, it would be far from the first time I've crossplayed on stream, but it's fine. This guy I just found. He found me, actually. He's all like, Ness! And I'm all like, yo, that's me, yes? And then I saw him, I'm like, oh, hey! It is a fellow hatless Ness. Now, on the third day, he would run into me again on the street. He'd shout, Ness! And then he just ran across the street, didn't even have the green signal to do so. And I'm all like, bro, you already got my attention. I was gonna wait here. You did not need to brave oncoming traffic just for this. You just wanted to exchange discords. And I'm all like, sweet, yeah, sure. Apparently, according to his mom, who he went to the con with, he is a crazy huge Ness fan. He has as many Ness shirts as I do, which is saying a lot. So, he hasn't messaged me yet, though, which is acceptable, I guess. He can message me when he wants. I don't think he knows that I'm streaming, but Hey, he's famous now. I don't even know who he is, but that'd be cool if we got to be friends over being Ness, because I told him get a hat, and he says he hates hats, but I'm like, just wear it really loose, you'll be fine. In Germany, we'd say, Rotganger, Totganger, I hardly know her! Getting back to the hotel, I ran into this Kiryu from Yakuza 0, and true to me, taking advantage of what I have on hand, I'm all like, ooh, do the Kusei defense pose from Yakuza 0, like you're gonna block my bat strike. Bam! And I friended this guy on Discord to send him the photo. He's like, yo, can I send that? He's like, yeah, Discord. And then I sent him the photo. So yeah, pretty good. Just carry a hat around and wear it for picture. Yeah, you could do that. Oh, this Malort is hitting me just right. I found Marth. I made jokes about his grab range. I'm glad that he had the foam Falchion sword. So glad that the Fire Emblem weapons are also getting representation. This was the only Marth I saw, and I'm glad I found him. Because as a fellow Smash character, I approached him as a Marth. I was like, ah, it's Ness from Smash Bros. And I say, ah, it is also Hero King Marth from Smash Bros. Sexy Bidoof. Many a story to tell with Sexy Bidoof. This is one of the Zap panelists, and I will be explaining what that is when I explain what the Zap panels are. Every year, I go to the Futurama Zap Brannigan panels, where a Zap Brannigan cosplayer does very funny things with heavy emphasis on audience participation. But this is Sexy Bidoof. Last year, he had to censor his nipples. This year, we freed the nipples. I found Agnes Tachyon. Agnes Tachyon was one of the most cosplayed Umas this year. There were a lot of horse girls this year. In fact, I'd say the amount of horse girls were tied with the amount of free runs, which is understandable. But I don't recognize most of the horses by name. But Agnes Tachyon, there were many, and I didn't get pictures of many of them, but I got this one. Exhibitionist? I mean, he is a panelist. He's also ripped. Gundam Guy! I see this guy every year, and I try to get a picture of Gundam Guy. We need more cosplays like this. This was the only type of this cosplay that I saw at the panel. This, in my opinion, this embodies the spirit of cosplay simply because you're doing it out of passion and for the memes. Straight up. I love it. You can also tell when I was with Tadadu or in a populated but non-busy location based on if I'm with the cosplayer or just taking a picture of them. I was by myself here. I know Agnes Tachyon, Gold Ship, Haru Urara, and Maya no Top Gun. I don't think I saw Maya no Top Gun, but I saw all the others and got a picture of at least one of every other horse that you mentioned. This was the only JoJo that I saw. Very few JoJos, actually, and it's fine. I was hoping he'd do a cooler pose than this, but this is fine. Also worth noting that I put JoJo down after part 4 with... I mean, it's not that I don't like JoJo, I just fell out of it. Salad! Oh shit! The capsule just decoupled in the NASA feed. We are re-entering the atmosphere. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. We have entered final stage of approach. Doing that in Kerbal Space Program is always fun. Just the re-entry. TWRP even has a song called Re-Entry, where it samples, I believe his name's James Hetfield. Wait, that's a fucking Metallica. Who the fuck? An astronaut giving a speech on his experience in space piloting the Soyuz. And it turned it into a funky song, and it's one of my favorite tracks on the album. The whole album's a straight up banger. But yeah, I am... like I said, I have the space mission on first month. They are above Australia. Okay. I I have it on first monitor. I will be reacting to it in real time. I found Joker, and this is where I explain what the Jokers are. Leading up to the con, I bought myself a special deck of cards containing 52 identical Jokers. And anytime, with the intent was that anytime I saw a Joker, I'd get a picture, or at least try to remember to get a picture. I didn't get a picture of all of them, because I was so caught up in the moment. I said, Joker, I have a magic trick for you. Care to see it? And they say yes. I'd pull out the deck of cards and say, pick a card, any card. And they would pick any card. And right when I picked the card, I would put the deck away and say, have a nice day. And then just turn around and walk away quickly. Knowing, guaranteed, that they got a Joker. So this Joker got a Joker. And you'll notice behind them is the Persona 5 character, whose name I forgot. But next to her, out of frame, was a Joker from Persona 5, who I would later meet up, not get a picture, and do the same thing, handing out the Joker to any Persona 5 Joker as well! What do you mean, boo?! Why are you booing?! I'm not gonna spoil how many Jokers I gave away just yet, but I gave away a lot of Jokers! I got some really good reactions out of it. It's a good trick! Fuck off! My god. God damn. Okay. Spoil me? After stream? God, I am streaming right now. Gee. Oh, you mean like that. Never mind. I found this guy wearing a suit of that rug we all had when we were a kid. I had to get this guy. I don't know where he got that suit, but that is the ultimate suit. This guy's power level was way too high. I couldn't not get a picture. This guy just radiates what the kids call aura. And I'm so glad I came across him, because I didn't see him again after this. I'm like, bruh. I found Sans! Okay, the way I found these two, I think their mom was doing a photo shoot of them because they probably just arrived on stream. So I snuck up to them, hid behind one of the nearby signposts, pulled out my ocarina, and just started playing Megalovania. And they were looking around for the source of the audio before they finally found me, in which I revealed myself. And the best part? Actually, you know what? Keep that in mind for later, because we would run into them in the most unlikely of places. I didn't get a photo of it, but I remember when it happened. During the photos, they turned to look at each other like this. Sans! I found a human! And as I was leaving, I said, Papyrus, I really wish you good luck in finding a human in a place like this. Snaz and Moanman. Aura from Free Run, I'm not that far. Rousey! Yo, I saw like 3 different Rouseys, and I think I only got a picture of 2 of them. But I was like, I get a photo, and he's like, sure, and then he just did this pose! I'm like, yo, yes! So glad. Anytime I come across a Majima, I hand them my bat and say, can I get a picture of you with my bat? Some of them just make a pose like this. Some of them do a crazy Majima pose. But otherwise, every time I hand a Majima a bat, they do something different with it. And I love that. I don't give them any instructions. I just say, give them a bat, and if they ask, I say, do a pose that comes to mind, whatever you like. And here we are. I found this Marisa and this, the guy from Durarara, who is the best character in the show, the butler with super strength that is always trying to throw vending machines at Izaya. I keep forgetting his name, but he was my favorite character from the show. I love that guy so much, and I'm so glad that someone represents him. I surprisingly did not find a single Rainer. There were several Tuhus, but not a... Shizuo, thank you. The Zap panel. I arrived early enough to get front row seats. Zap recognized me! He recognizes me, like, because, well, I'm always in the front row. And I try to get up on stage for participation if I can. This particular panel, I didn't get a chance to, but that's fine, because I knew I'd have more opportunities later. But also, in this particular Zap panel are fake job interviews, where the questions are very silly, and the goal is to just be as goofy as possible, basically. Because you're trying to get a job for Zap Brannigan on his spaceship, where he gives you ethically questionable job duties, and he needs to make sure that you're a big enough loser to be up to the task. That's basically what it is. It is the ultimate fake condescending, but we all know that the best part is when it's essentially a quest to see who can be the most, I don't want to say outlandish, but it's improv. It's funny improv that is unorthodox, unconventional, and it's a great time for everybody. To the point where he gets this panel on main stage. That's how good it is. It's wonderful. Of course, the main stage doesn't fill up, but there were a lot of people there. Oh, actually, after the panel, he saw me, and he threw me a prize that will be revealed at the very end of this slideshow. Whenever you go up on a Zap panel, you get a prize. It's usually something that's cheap and ultimately super worthless or useless, but that's funny that way. So he recognized me and he threw me a prize, but we will be seeing a lot more Zap Brannigan later in the slideshow, don't you worry. Also, a frequent attendee of the Zap panels that I recognized from last year is Tommy Wiseau. He hit her, despite what he says. Oh, hi, Mark. Of all the cosplays, it's Tommy Wiseau himself. I called them out as John Hollow Knight and Jane Hollow Knight Silksong. That is how I requested their photos. And the people around me, I could tell they were holding their laughter like, this fucking guy. There were several Hornets, actually, but this was the only picture of Hornet I got. It might have been the same Hornet each time. But this was the only John Hollow Knight, but there were at least 2 different Hornets, I think. Gold chip! Not this particular gold chip pair, but going up the escalator in the Arch building, I turned around and saw a gold chip next to a Meijiro McQueen, and I said, hey, it's Silver Boat and Lightning McQueen. And they just like, ugh. Freaking. I made so many drive-by puns that some of them will be revealed later in the stream. But ultimately, I was that guy that would do a drive-by comment on pun on someone's cosplay that would either make them laugh or make them groan. Or both. 24 minutes till splashdown, yes. I'm watching. I found No Face and Kiki. There were several Ghibli representatives. I could not get a picture of Not Waldo and Kiki. They are a couples cosplay that I usually see every year, and I'm like, I got a picture of them last year, it's fine. I recognize them from last year. If I recognize them from last year, unless I'm really invested in it, I usually just pass on the photo, because like, I already got a picture of you guys. These two. It is, I refer to them as English Horn Man and Flute Friend. They were busking on the 3rd floor of the Summit building. And I passed by them, and I'm like, yo, can I get your photo? Because earlier, I was really dejected from busking, but then I saw these two, and I heard them play, and they were making a lot of mistakes. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in the, you can busk and not be perfect way. Seeing them, and getting to meet them, fucking skyrocketed my confidence, and I feel like if it weren't for meeting these two in a chance encounter, I may not have busked nearly as much as I did this con. The reality is I didn't busk as much as I wanted to simply because I went to a lot of panels. I normally don't go to this many panels at a convention, but this year they had a really good amount of panels. But yes, I didn't get any of their names or info, but I just want to say thank you, English Horn Man and Flute Friend, for... I mean, I even told them about the busking story, and they were happy. That's like, oh yeah, you can just play, man, you're good. You already went over if you got any monies for busking. I will get into that on Saturday. We're still at Friday in the timeline. I met Ellen Joe, and after the photo, I said, Ellen Joe Mama! And then left. And they're like, oh my god! I'm glad that nobody got mad at me for that, but it's a fine joke to make. I met a different Waluigi. Hot Waluigi's in my area. I saw this guy a few times, but I got the photo with him for this, and I'm like, yes! Goofy, creative cosplays like this, I really like. Especially if it's a hot Waluigi in my area. I met Guts! I approached him saying, you got a lot of guts to be carrying that around. And he just, like, smirked at me. I think I'm fucking half this guy's size, as you can see. This is the photo that I cite to say how fucking tiny I am. This is your average-sized American citizen standing next to me, who is also an American citizen. One of those! But yeah, really good Guts. Total bro, too. We fist bumped it after the head out. But the camera guy had to back up so far just to get the whole thing in the frame. This guy was huge. It also doesn't help that I'm tiny. I think this just might be one of the best photos I got from the con. One of them. I think I got a few better ones, but this is one of my favorites for sure. I met Juhuhu. Anytime I saw Juhuhu, I would just scream, Juhuhu! And she'd turn around. Greatness, if you will, thanks. But yeah, I am very excited to see Juhuhu. Juhuhu is a very rare character, I've noticed. Despite her being my #1 pull, an S tier pull, she's not necessarily my #1 just because she's so hard to find. Oh my god. But yeah, I'm shocked at how niche she is for who she is. Like, bruh. Juhuhu is pretty great as I pour myself another drink, as I empty the fucking bottle. Oh my god. This is fine. This is fine. I'll finish them alert. Oh, we could see the Earth's atmosphere through the window of the Artemis 2 cabin. Wonderful. Just get the AI slop Juhuhu? I already did. And let me tell you, some of the AI slop Juhuhu is actually pretty nice, but it's counteracted by the fact that it's AI slop. So it's like, you know what? I'm gonna take some passionate Juhuhu instead. This is my buddy's panel, and in each of these photos, I intentionally kept it so that we can't actually see him. So you will not be seeing what my buddy looks like, but this is his first ever time doing a panel at a convention. And he expected like me and maybe 2 people to show up. As you can see, the room was packed. The room was at capacity. The panel, which I got to see before the convention, was called Anime Dumpster Diving: How to Find Your Next Hidden Gem. And the presentation lasted 30 minutes, but the panel length was allotted 1 hour. The last 30 minutes was just Q&A, and people kept asking questions. And to the point, people kept arriving, trying to come in, and the staff member was like, we can't accept any more people in the room, we're at capacity, due to fire safety hazards. But there were 2 doors on opposite sides of the room, and the staff member had to keep going back and forth. And I just stood by one door and said, I got this door. And the staff member was like, thank you. I had to turn away at least 15 people trying to get in because the room was full. That's gotta feel so good. I can imagine. It was a solid good panel. My buddy knows what he's doing. Bear in mind, said buddy, he is my pilot friend who's into aviation, as well as space. I can bet right now he is watching the Artemis feed right now too. And he is the one that got me started learning Japanese. And his panel was superb. And I hope he does it again next year. This actually inspired me to try doing a panel next year. My panel that I discussed with both my buddy and Tadadu, who would want to join me on the panel as co-panelists, would be what to expect teaching yourself Japanese or something similar. I'm still thinking up of a tagline or title for the panel, but my panel is going to be essentially the first half of my Japanese teaching stream where I don't actually teach any Japanese. I go over what to expect. What's it like? How hard is it to teach yourself Japanese? What can you expect? What are some good mindsets to have? What are some bad mindsets to have? What are some good resources? What are some bad resources? I feel like at a big anime convention that's all about Japanese culture, that kind of panel would pop off, but I would need to execute. Now, as a VTuber, I don't know. I've been told I'm a good presenter. I hardly know her. But in any case, it's just a brainstormed idea. I would like to see it realized next year, probably. That'd be pretty cool if I became a panelist. Because if you're a panelist, you get free admission. In any case. Right after the panel, I met Mega Man! This is the same Mega Man that I ran into yesterday. For last year. And I was like, yo, aim the cannon at me. It's like we're about to go Smash Bros. So yeah, this will not be the only Mega Man that I recognize from last year. Just saying. But I'm so glad I ran into this guy. He was also, the next day, he was with a Peppino that I recognized from 2 years ago. Peppino from Pizza Tower. That's how I recognize this Mega Man, but getting pictures with other characters like this is always fun. I like doing it whenever I can. Escalator. Normally, the escalator curses me in that I see people going the opposite escalator and I can't get their picture. However, this guy was on the same the adjacent escalator going the same direction. I look to the left and I see that, and I'm all like, yo, can I get your photo? And bam. How do you recognize people? I hardly see anything. I mean, if you'd be surprised how easy it is to recognize someone at a convention if they are wearing the same cosplay. Because you recognize the outfit first and then the face comes second. It's like, wait a minute, I've seen you before. If they didn't have the same outfit, it'd be a lot harder to recognize them. But yeah, this guy just carried this sign around everywhere. And the groans that followed him, I could tell, it just fueled him. I met the Deltarune squad. I love seeing, there were a lot of Noels. I didn't get pictures of Noel. This is one of the only Noels that I got a picture of. But every time I saw a Noel, I would walk up to her and say, hey, you're Noel, right? And she said, yeah. And I said, that means you're always winning, right? Because there's Noel here, and then just leave. I got a couple chuckles out of that. Those were the kind of drive-bys that I did at the convention. You think there's so many Noels because of all the corn? I don't look at the corn. I don't pull Deltarune. I found this Robin, and yo, this Robin outside, so good. She looked as excited to get a picture as I was, and I'm all like, yeah! So, it's lovely. I love seeing it. The overall energy and enthusiasm at the con. Finally something to match me. And I met a Miyabi. You know what? Miyabi, Juhuhu, and Piper are my 3 favorite Zender, Zany, Zero, Zenless characters. So getting to see 2 of them at the convention is wonderful. She had a light up sword that changed color. She had like the full RGB sword, and I was like, yeah! Piper? I thought Piper wasn't on the list. She is. Oh, she's easily one of my S tiers. Do I have to pull up the Zender Zany Zero freaking... I love Piper, dude. What the fuck are you talking about? Piper? I hardly know her. Restaurant! I told Tadadu, you pick the restaurant, I pay. The bill limit is $200. We're eating like kings. We did not hit the $200 limit, but we did eat like kings. This was one of them. This is like a Korean 20-ounce steak topped with a shrimp skewer backed with fries glazed in special sauce. And while I was eating, that Sans Undertale from earlier, he just snuck up next to me and just stared at me. And I turn and I see, Sans! What are you doing here? Before grabbing my ocarina and just megalovania'd him in the restaurant. This boy picked out? Yes! I managed to somehow eat the whole steak. Artemis 2 has entered its mock fuck ball of plasma art. Yeah! Yes! You're also watching my... Yeah! I have it. I have the stream on first monitor. I am watching as well. I'm multitasking. I'm multi-stream tasking. It's fine. But as you can see, your boy managed to eat it all. Is what I would say if I didn't put the fries in a to-go container. Tadadu called me out on that. I ate the whole steak and the shrimp, but not the fries. I just realized I left the fries in the fridge at the hotel. Whoops.
Skill issue.
It is a skill issue. It's fine. It's fine. 10 minutes to splash down. Well, 10 minutes, 50 seconds, but oh my god. I'm excited. You know what? I'm gonna put it on hold for a second. We're just gonna put it on hold because it's almost time for a Bezos break. And when we come back, it's almost time for Artemis Splashdown. I've never forgotten your leftovers in a hotel fridge. This is a lie. Baseball, huh? I'll baseball that, huh? Baseball. Oh yeah, I'm excited for Artemis. I'm glad the mission's going smoothly. I'm not gonna lie. Today, like the past week, in the back of my mind, I'm just like silently hoping, God, I hope the people in the Artemis are safe and they come home safely. Friggin' space exploration is dangerous. It's science and it's cool, but it's dangerous. Anyway, I'm stalling for time because we're about to take a Bezos break. And when we come back, we will continue yapping. In the meantime, I will... Actually, you know what? No. I will yap through the Bezos break. This will turn into sub-only content about me yapping about space and stuff. So if you're subbed, cool. If you're not subbed, DM me and I will impart forbidden knowledge that involves getting to watch streams and content on the internet uninterrupted by Megacorps. How's that? Seems pretty good. I finally got off my lazy ass and figured out how to do it. It turns out it's a lot easier than I thought it was. It's about as hard as clicking a few mouse buttons and copying and pasting some things. That's it. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Now, allegedly, it breaks sometimes. I've had it break exactly once, but I refreshed the page and it worked. So, while it's not perfect, it is. Oh, it's so much better. Holy crap. Anyway, the ads are about to play. If you're worried about missing stream content, all you're gonna miss is me yapping about silly stuff that doesn't really pertain to Sakuracon. If you are subbed, feel free to yap with me when it comes to stuff not pertaining to Sakuracon. Because the ads are about to play right now. I click the button. Bam. And they are... Come on. And they're playing. Okay, it's ad time. Great. So anyway, let's disclose the secrets of the universe. I'm sorry, Yukino. You are in ad hell. They can't hear me. It's fine. I'll take a drink. You know, I finished my bottle of Malort, but I still have another bottle of Malort. Lamau, these are some nice... Motherfucker, you are subbed? How far away from you are... You are 1 month away from the 2-year badge. Hey, TMS Michelle 97, welcome in. I am so sorry you came in during ads. I am so sorry you came in during ads. If you are not seeing ads right now, you are winning. But don't worry. You know what? It's fine. We will... It's whatever. I'm tipsy right now. Really makes me want to violate TOS. This is a joke. Don't... I wouldn't risk that. The AI scrape bots are wilding. Literally me. I don't have ads? Wonderful. Okay. Well, it's a shame that I get a first-time chatter during ads. This is so unfortunate. But you know what? Hey! No ads! Let's go! Wowzers! They get to hear me yap about dumb things. Don't have ads? Well, not anymore! You don't have ads anymore because you subbed! Welcome in, and while you're here, join the Discord and you get to use my emotes in the Discord. Why is it? There it is. You can use the emotes in now wherever you want. Very cool. Oh, what the fuck? Why do I have a hype train on one of my drunk? Why is it whenever I drink, you guys throw money at me? Don't do that. Don't do that. That's not how this works. But thank you. Hype train. Let's go. I guess I'm on a hype train during an ad break. What the fuck? Nothing like hurling through the upper atmosphere as a $1 billion tin can, a Mach 33, Jesus Christ. While the whole experience is the fourth state of matter via extreme violence. Fun fact, the speed of sound changes depending on the medium that you're going through. For example, the speed of sound is different in water than it is in air, and it's different at low altitudes than it is at high altitudes, just because of how, that's how physics works. But colloquially, it's understood to be, we just use Mach, like 26,000 miles per hour, or if you like me, around 360 meters per second. I committed that number to memory because when making SSTOs in Kerbal Space Program, seizure warning by the way, Jesus Christ! What? Thanks NASA! God damn! Okay, cool. But when making SSTOs in Kerbal Space Program, I kept wondering why my jet engines couldn't just go faster than 360 meters per second at sea level before realizing, wait, that's a sound barrier. I need to do some maneuvering here. I'm an idiot. Fucking engineer forgets he has an engineering degree. Send your Kerbals in at Jesus fucking Christ. This is the third time you gifted subs? Yo, you get to be subbed. How does it feel to be subscribed to some dude who is talking about steak that he ate at a convention? So while I am getting flashbanged by NASA in real time, goddamn. Okay, there we go. That's what they get. That is the cool part about re-entry, is that you get to see all of the, you know what? No, I'm watching the re-entry. I'm pausing the stream and this is a react stream now. Everybody tune into the NASA broadcast. Bam. That's what I'm watching. Get in here. We're watching the re-entry. Artemis 2 is landing. I am reacting to it. React content. I promised I wouldn't do react content. Next thing you know, I'm gonna be sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Fuck me sideways. I'm drunk. I love space. I love space flight. I love Kerbal Space Program. I got a fucking 4.0 in fluid dynamics and advanced fluids. I'm not letting this historical moment pass me by just because I'm drunk and rambling about one of the best convention experiences that I've ever been to. I keep getting bonked. But the pod's coming. I remember one of the first mistakes I made in Kerbal upon re-entry was, well, one, not orienting the re-entry capsule correctly with a heat shield, 2, forgetting the heat shield, and 3, deploying my drogue chutes way too early. There they are! Yo, right when I said drogue chutes, the drogue chutes come out! Nice! Very nice. All right. Come on. Oh, that's coming down fast. Drogue chutes are out. This is good. I'm waiting for the main chute. When the main chute comes out. 3 minutes to splashdown? Damn! They're coming in from high. Let's freaking go. But yeah, we get 3 more minutes of yap before I continue talking about overpriced steak. Perfect stream content to get tipsy to, and I recommend you guys have fun on a Friday night. I've been debating streaming Kerbal Space Program but ultimately decided not to. This background is trippy. You're drinking it. Yo, we're all drinking on a Friday night. That's cool. If you do not want to drink, get water. Drink water with us. That's the play. Hydrate yourself. I've been drinking one more cup of tea than usual at work, and when like the hour before I leave for work, I go to the bathroom and I take like the clearest piss ever. Yo, do they get second drogue shoots? Oh, those are the main shoots. Let's go. Wait, you can ditch the drogue shoots? In KSP, I just leave the drogue shoots on and deploy the main shoots with them. I guess you could ditch the drogue shoots. It's a bold strategy if the main shoots fail. Like, and the main shoots are out. Wonderful. Yeah! They're back home. They just got a touchdown. Nice! I love to see it. I love to see it. And they're basically home. They just gotta safely splash down. Thank you for the hype train. I'd never expect a hype train. Really, the only time I even halfway expect a hype train is during my annual birthday subathon, which is in December. Otherwise, any hype train that happens after the Godzilla— No! No! Spoilers for later in the stream, but this will not be the first time Godzilla's mentioned. 3 good shoots. Good shit. Hell yeah. 1 minute, 15 seconds to splashdown. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Artemis 2 about to splash down safely. I'm watching. I freaking paused my recap just to watch Artemis 2 splash down. Man, I feel so bad for any VOD watchers. If you are watching the VOD of this for whatever reason, skip forward like 2 minutes or so, I guess. It's fine. Yesterday, I had the Artemis stream on third monitor. Now it's full screen on first monitor. Because fortunately for me, when doing my recap, I just go off of the preview screen in OBS, so I don't actually need my first monitor. So I can just— you could grill hot dogs on that hole. You could freaking spontaneously combust hot dogs on that hole. That hole is probably hotter than every girl that's ever rejected me. Which is a lot of them, but don't worry about it. Fun fact, my only regret from high school is not finding a girl to reject me to prom, because I asked 68 different girls to prom and they all said no. So my only regret to this day from high school is not being able to complete the 69th girl to reject me. That hole's hotter than me. I can't believe it. Instantly vaporized wieners. Yo, why'd you have to phrase it like that? That gave me psychic damage, man. Oh, I'm covering up Nikke for this. Bro, why didn't you get your Nikke stuff done before the splashdown? Like, this is history. This is some good shit. Yeah! Splashdown! They're home! And it's in position 1. It's face up. They're safe, bro. Let's go. That's good to see. I will drink to that. Ladies and gentlemen, the crew of the Artemis 2 has just splashed down and returned to Earth safely. I will fucking... Cheers. This is a huge victory for humanity. Now we can unload all that delicious science. Yeah! KSP gang. I found it funny. I made the KSP joke when they were transmitting the science data from behind the moon, like right after they got to see the Earthrise. They were all like beginning to transmit the science and they had to share the bandwidth for the interview. And I'm all like, yo, that's KSP science. And I am so glad they came home safely because now we get the full science. Let's fucking go. Okay, if I swig whiskey, it ain't so bad. I've swigged whiskey in the past. I got Malort. I'll drink to that. It is now time to resume the stream content, but I still have the Artemis stream on. Let's freaking go. You got the apple whiskey? Ooh, that's good. I got Lupin the Third. This Lupin the Third drew his gun on me. I'm like, yo, Lupin the Third. But something neat about this picture, you may see my backpack in the back of the photo. This is because I was setting up my trumpet to play in that main square area because the electric violin guy was gone. 7:07:47 CST. Yo, 7:47 confirmed. Let's fucking go. Very nice. This guy. When I was setting up, this guy was here, but I struck up a conversation with him. Guitar bro. And we just started jamming. I got my trumpet out. He had his very loud amp and portable speaker amp. And we just played songs. And it turns out... Oh, by the way, it is worth noting that before Tadaru and I went to the restaurant, we each took a shot of 57% Smith & Cross rum. And then afterwards, we took another shot of that rum and downed it with a chaser of Jepson's Malort. Worth noting, headpats, if you're lurking, Jepson's Malort is a really good chaser. I don't normally do chasers with my drinks because I'm normally just drinking nonstop. But I was thoroughly buzzed at this point of the convention, striking up convos with randos. Chaser? I hardly know her! But guitar guy here, me and my trumpet, and if you look closely, you'll see I have the trumpet loudener installed. And I got a nice tall drink of Randolph P. Checker Smooth Sippin', all natural, apple flavored, barrel aged engine degree. Engine degree. You had me in the first half, not gonna lie. But it turns out I can just play along to songs. My practice and just playing in different keys has taught me that once I figure out a key a song is in, I can just play along. Playing the Linkin Park guitar lines on trumpet while he's doing the riffs and singing along to the songs. And we had other people around, like that guy in the Ava costume who's just vaping really hard, perfectly timed photo. He was also screaming along to Linkin Park. Wonderful experience. So yes, guitar guy. Afterwards, he whipped out his camera because apparently he's a TikTok vlogger and he's like, you want to be in the vlog? I'm like, sure, I guess. Why the fuck not? So somewhere on TikTok, I'm there. During the interview, I may have peeked the shit out of his little microphone by playing my trumpet into it. And he's all like, what's your name, man? I'm like, I'm Ness. And he's like, the cosplay name's great. You got a name? I'm like, yeah, it's Ness. He's like, alrighty then, let's go. I'm Ness. What else can I say? All right. But core memory with this guy. And the best part is, this is not the last time we will see this guy. And I'm so glad about that. An opportunity that I forgot to get was going back to the hotel. When Tadaru and I were first checking into the hotel, we noticed our room number, 2008. And I said, 2008? And then we both said at the same exact time, more like 2000 late! Why are we like this? Also worth noting, oh, wrong button. Also worth noting was the way that we got to the room. We made a left out of the elevator and walked around the entire hotel floor before reaching our room. Keep that in mind. On our way out of the hotel, I met Spampton, G. Spampton, who handed me his peepees. And he's like, hey, hold the peepees. And I'm all like, okay. So this is my hand holding his peepees. I'm so glad. There were two Spampton G. Spamptons. And I got a picture with this one. I'm in the photo. That's my hand. Hand reveal. You guys have fucking seen me. It's fine. This is the Sakura tree at night. And I saw this Joker. And you know me, I had to give Joker the Joker card. But he was taking photos of another cosplayer. So I figured, like, you know, it's fine. But that cosplayer's like, yo, let's take a photo of you. And it's like, photo turned out pretty well, if you ask me. Did the Spamptons fight to the death in gladiatorial combat? No, because the Spamptons did not meet. Or if they did meet, I was not there to witness it. Well, yeah, I gave him the Joker trick, and they both loved it. This Zelda and Link, whenever I saw them, it's worth noting, whenever I saw a Link, I would sneak up behind them, whip out my ocarina, and I would just sneak up behind them and just go. up doing that to this particular couple 5 times throughout the convention. They got used to it, and they were so excited every time it happened. It's like, yo, so good. But the freaking light up Master Sword is just a mwah, chef's kiss. I got to talk to the Zelda for a little bit about the ocarina, and I said, you know, the STL Ocarina booth is selling this exact ocarina for only 25 bucks if you want one. I've owned this ocarina for, like, before the conversation, or convention, and, well, turns out they're not confident enough to play the ocarina, and I'm like, you know what, that's fine. By the way, when you send the album, do I get it uncensored? Yes, you do, because you know what I look like. Half the people here know what I look like. Basically, if you already know what I look like, you get freaking free privileges. Does the album come with slurs? Yes, it does. But yeah, this Zelda and Link were great sports about it. And with that, that wraps up day 1 of the convention. I returned to the hotel room, ready to pack it in for the night and sleep. And with that, this is Seattle at like 10 p.m. Which leads us to Saturday. Shit, I don't know you IRL yet? Lamau. Wait, imagine not knowing what Ness looks like. You're better off that way, trust me. I am aware of the effect I have on women. Anyway, I slept like shit, but next day, sunrise in Seattle. And let me tell you, that sunrise gets really fucking bright, I'll tell you what. But yeah, I departed, and I went down to the convention, the summit building, to... I went down to the summit building to try to flute busk again, and I ran into that violin guy, and he said, like, no hard feelings, because he was worried, and I'm like, bro, it's totally cool, man. I love your violin playing. You do your thing. I got the area all warmed up. And then I packed it in, and I headed inside to flute busk. And there, well, actually, before all that, this is morning in the hotel, making coffee. On the left, you can see all of the alcohol I brought. Inside that flask is the 57% rum. In the bottles is a bottle of Jepson's Malort and the bottle of Sweet Plum Sake, as well as breakfast, which is an MRE. Yes, I deadass eat MREs for breakfast at conventions. 50 pour 7? Yes. It's fine. But this guy, when I was busking, this guy made my day because he walked up to me because I was playing the Kaine Salvation song from Nier Replicant on my flute. And he's like, yo, it's Nier, I love that game. Can you do Weight of the World? Because he scanned my QR code. He's like, I gotta request Weight of the World, man. This guy is the only one that requested a song, and I'm like, fuck yeah, bucket list complete. I got a song request. Such a good sport. He really liked my flute playing. He enjoyed it. And I'm like, yeah, can I get a picture with you? So, thanks, man. Also, while I was playing my flute, some sweet lady, I was playing, I believe it was Itsumo Nando Demo, and I nailed it. I normally don't nail it, but I played it really well. And she handed me $5. I did not set up my jar at all, but she handed me $5 anyway as a tip for playing very well. And I'm like, wow, holy crap, I actually made a little money busking. This is very validating, knowing that I can make people happy with my 4 months of flute playing. However, nothing could have prepared me for what happened next. It's Guitar Guy again. I didn't expect to see them in cosplay this time. They approached me, because last night I was playing trumpet, but now I was playing flute, and I told them, if you see me again, you're probably gonna see me with a flute. Sure enough, they saw me with a flute. And I got their picture of Devil May Cry. Hey, they found the capsule and the Artemis 2. They are retrieving them with the rescue boat. Fuck yeah. Yeah! Wonderful. Wonderful. You'll love to see it. Allegedly, Artemis 2 passed through Zion's home territory on the same day that Mobile Suit Gundam first aired on TV. Let's fucking go. But also, I gotta say, Saturday morning was life-changing for me. it was probably the most validating musical experience I've ever had, because not only did I have people praise me for my musical stuff, but also, if you don't recognize this guy, this is Insane in the Rain, also known as, I believe, Carlos Aine, I believe? I forgot his real name, but he is one of my absolute favorite multi-instrument music YouTubers. He's actually composed video game soundtracks. He is known for his jazz covers of video game songs. I looked up and saw him, and I'm like, wait, is that Insane in the Rain? And he said, yeah, that's me, and I fucking fanboyed so fucking hard. You know what? I'm gonna link him. Let me link his YouTube channel. So this is his YouTube channel here. I love all of his videos. I told him how he is a huge musical inspiration for me, and like I just went into full fanboy mode, and getting a picture with him like this will forever be a core memory. Getting to briefly meet him. I didn't even know he was here. Like, this was completely unexpected. And he caught me flute playing. Like, freaking. Oh my god, I'm still in disbelief. This is fucking, like, I'll drink to that. I love all of his videos. So he does the one-man band stuff? Yes, but he also features other musicians too. In fact, Insane in the Rain is one of my major inspirations in picking up the flute as a second instrument, because if he can play every instrument, why can't I play 2 instruments? Well, 3 now. I play ocarina, flute, and trumpet. And the trumpet extends to similar instruments, like the piccolo trumpet, the flugelhorn, and the cornet, all of which I own. I have a lot of instruments. I was thinking of doing a piccolo trumpet stream someday, but playing that thing is extremely taxing. Trombone? Nope, I have no plans of getting a trombone. I know Chihaya of Hololive once did a trombone stream. I know Resta Makurabe used to play trombone, but not anymore. 2K also plays trombone, but his nephew has the trombone and is using it in school. He does play a lot of trombone jam, though. So 2K is the main tromboner of my life. And for added measure, Boomer Visor actively plays trombone, but no one cares about him. What we do care about is Haunter! I hardly know her! I deadass said that, the Haunter. Have you ever heard of Smooth McGroove? Yes! Yes! Freaking acapella Jesus! I know exactly who that is! And I gotta say, Smooth McGroove, his response to the backlash of his crypto ad sponsor, I think he handled it in the best way possible. So, actually, fun fact, if you come to any of my Christmas streams, Smooth McGroove is what inspired me to make my Christmas stream opening and ending musics. So, if you're in the Discord, which you should be in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, why are you here? Like, I'm in the Discord more than I am on Twitch. Like, bruh, I can definitely just give you those musics that I'm talking about. I did my own acapella style tracks just for my Christmas streams. They're basically covers of Tatsura Yamashita's music, which are themselves acapella covers of traditional Christmas music. But you know what? It's fine. They're not great, they're not the best, but hey, I'm not a professional musician. I did it entirely by ear, and I think I like how it turned out. It was several years ago anyway. Team Starmie, and I realized after the fact that one of the Starmies was doing, like, maintenance on her costume. But during this, oh, you can actually see my setup. You could see my portable speaker on the ground with a sheet of paper with my QR code. You can see my bat on the right that I propped up with my backpack and flute case. But I played the Pokemon theme song for them to dance around, and being part of that impromptu get-together. And The Pokemon theme song is in B flat, so it is one of the easiest songs to play. Did they actually dance? Yes, they actually danced. It was wonderful. I'm here because of a slime bunny VTuber dragged me in via raid and decided we watch a wretched fungus and hang around in your walls. I mean, the only slime bunny VTuber I know, well, I know several bunny VTubers, but Puzzle Pulsar comes to mind. Very nice. B flat major, let's fucking go. And as I was busking, I met Etsy from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I see her every year, and it is probably one of the most iconic and recognizable cosplays. She does it so well. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if she was actually one of the stagehands for Spamalot. It's wonderful. I met this Lancer, and when as you can see, I try to block Lancer's thrust, but the gay Bolg Noble Phantasm will always pierce its target, no matter what. Reversal of cause and effect. So that's what inspired this photo. I like to get these goofy poses. Another Joker that I gave a Joker to. Another Joker that I gave a Joker to, back to back almost. Like I round the corner, it's like, hey, Joker. And then I find Susie Nut Dealer. Susie Deltarune. I'm like, yo, somebody actually did Susie. Very nice. I had to get a photo of Susie. I mean, I saw several Rouseys, lots of Chris's, but not a single Susie until now. She was the only Susie, and I'm glad I saw one. I found Waldo. I had to track this guy down. I saw him on the escalator as I was packing up. I'm like, he went to the vendor hall. If I see him again, I'll get his photo. Any Rouseys with a fat boof? No, unfortunately. I love Boof Rousey. I have that image saved. It's like, bruh. I found Travel Free Ren. I call her Travel Free Ren because she has the really pretty trench coat. I love trench coats. I don't have one. I should probably get one, but I love trench coats. Says Charlie. Sure, I guess. But after Travel Free Ren is Mimic Free Ren. Freaking Mimic Free Ren. She was carrying the Mimic around, and for photos she would do this, and it's like, yo, Mimic Free Ren, let's go. I'm freaking. Okay, so that exhausts all of the Free Ren photos that I have, but believe me, there were a lot of Free Rens, and if I was still me back how I took photos of every cosplay, we'd be here for like 2 hours just looking at Free Rens. Another Link in Zelda that I did my Sneak Attack Saria's song. I always mispronounce the name. When I was younger, I always thought it was Saria's song, but no, it's Saria's song because your boy can't fucking read. I found the Ghostbuster. I hardly know her. Yes, I hit him with that joke. It's like, Ghostbuster? I hardly know her. And he got a kick out of that. I don't think anyone's ever done that. I saw a different... Yeah, this is a different Ghostbuster than last year that I met at the train station. Another Joker that I did the joke to. You did better than me. I was calling it Sarah's song. Okay, I kneel. Okay, actually, first of all, there were 2 Columbinas, but this is the only one with the eye thing. The other one didn't have the little eye mask, and I'm like, man, I like that little eye. Wife, yes! For the longest time, up until this year, I pronounced it Gerudo Valley and not Gerudo Valley. So, you know what? We live and learn. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Ocarina of Time came out like 5 years ago, so it hasn't been that long. It's fine. We're good. I found the board game room, and lo and behold, believe it or not, I actually did not spend time in the board game room. I just saw all these board games. They had a really good selection, actually. They had Scythe. I'm all like, oh my god. If I had people to play Scythe with, I'd be here for hours. But I ultimately decided to leave and spend time elsewhere at the con. I'd never leave that room. Exactly! That's why I left immediately. and found Apollo Justice in the artist hall. It would become your grave? Understandable. Yo! Tabletop Simulator Nights will return in Nestcorn. Board games? Bruh. Well, Apollo Justice here, well, post-explosion Apollo, handed me an updated autopsy report that I immediately gave to Phoenix Wright and Maya Fey. He's got the objection fan. Very cool. I love seeing Phoenix Wright cosplayers. I should buy Tabletop Simulator? You absolutely should. Tabletop Simulator is great. I made a mod on Tabletop Simulator. I did the To the Moon board game by Kangao, modeled after the game of the same name, that To the Moon game. I want it for Battletech? Shit, that sounds too much for me, man. The most complicated game I've played is Scythe with the invaders from afar and the airships expansion, but that was in person. I'd love to play Scythe again. I fucking love Scythe so much, but I've only gotten to play it twice ever. And unfortunately, it is too complex of a game for a lot of my friends to understand. So, it's called Combat Math for a reason. Understandable. Have a great day. I found Nero-sama, and when I took her picture, I looked at my phone and I cringed. I'm like, wait a minute. This photo's AI! And she laughed. I'm so glad, because it was only then I realized that I have autism. I said that out loud in the artist hall. That is as bad. That is almost as bad as last year's Sakuracon, me going to a Vietnamese restaurant with a friend, and my friend pointed out how nice the plants were, and I just said, wow, the plants have eyes. I have autism. I can get away with it.
God damn it!
Certified goddammit moment. But you know what? It's fine. Autism moment. I'll drink to that. Blech. Haruurara! I mentioned it in the Discord, but I'll say it again. In the artist hall, I could not get a picture of the Haruurara I wanted, but this Haruurara is very cute. The other Haruurara I wanted to get a picture of, I shit you not, I wish I could get a picture, but I couldn't. She had Lightning McQueen Crocs. She had the full meme getup. And I am so sad I could not get a picture of her because I got swept away by the crazy amount of people traffic flow in the artist hall that I couldn't read. And I saw Haruurara on the sky bridge here. I'm like, Haruurara! And I did a feet inspection and realized, oh, she's not wearing the Crocs. This is a different Haruurara. I got duped. So, that's fine. Still very cute. And she was very happy that I recognized her because the outfit is the basic track training outfit. So if you don't already know the character, it's hard to recognize, but I was in Haruurara mode. Rest in peace, Haruurara. And up next, we're at the official halfway point of the slideshow, but this is the 8-Bit Brass Band. They performed last year, and I absolutely love their performance. They play video game and some anime music, but mostly video game music. And oh, it's wonderful. And during the performance, they encourage you to get up close and dance. And after taking these photos, well, before then, I saw another Ness, and I'm all like, Ness, we need a photo together! If I see another Ness at con, I drop what I'm doing, and we get a photo together. That's how it works. Like, I can't not. I really hope I see another Ness at Offkai. Normally, I'm the only Ness at Offkai. I'm not the only Ness at Sakuracon because it's a bigger convention, but I'm definitely the only Ness at Offkai. But the 8-Bit Brass Band, they are a very fun performance because they dance, they move around, they make their performances fun. This is getting out of hand. Now there's 2 of them! But this whole time, if you recall that Waluigi with the rose from Friday, him and I were dancing next to each other the whole hour of performance. And oh my god, it was wonderful. Like, we had a great time. The Terry on saxophone, as well as the sousaphone player, they would also walk around and play while circling us. I didn't get a photo because I was too busy dancing and having fun in the moment. As they were playing the Katamari Damacy theme, 2 Katamari Damacy cosplayers were walking by and joined the dance floor. And Terry and the sousaphone player like circled us as we were all dancing as part of the Katamari Damacy. The perfect timing. What are the odds? It was such a good coming together. Oh my god. I didn't get a photo because I was too busy having fun! And after the performance, the Mega Man cosplayer, well, during the performance, as they were setting up the next song, this is Electric Violin Guy. This is the guy that set up on Friday and interrupted my flute busking. I popped $1 in his bin. This guy's insanely good at violin. Great performer. I danced in front of him too. Props to him. He played for all fucking day, every day. I think he's a professional, but damn. And he's a really nice guy too, like, bruh. And I saw, I think they're called Kirigurumis, these anime masks. Didn't he fucking kick you out? Not necessarily. I mean, I was kind of in his area anyway. Mualani, yeah. We got the Kirigurumi Genshins. That was nice. And as I came back for their encore performance, this is their leader of the band. If you recognize him, he was the Ness that was playing the Flugabone last year. It is a miniature valve trombone, basically. And I have my pocket trumpet here. And we get another commemorative photo with our instruments. To be consistent with last year, we both, held our instruments. Because he's the one that put it you don't happen to have a miniature trumpet in there, do you? And I said, funny you should ask that. The trumpet I have this year is smaller than last year. And the funniest part about getting this photo is that people walking by, and the band members too, were like, yo, what is that? They were so curious about my tiny little trumpet. And I just played a basic B-flat major scale with 5th arpeggio, just to demonstrate that, yes, this is a fully working, proper B-flat trumpet, just compressed in size. Of course, I made the comment, they make trumpets my size, it's wonderful. But yeah, I was dancing the whole time of the performance. I was having the time of my life. Ness applies to the small trumpet having club? Yes! So, after the performance though, the Flugabone guy, he played 8 melodies for me. And I'm like, oh my god. Because he recognized me from last year. I'm like, yo, let's go! I was so happy. So happy. Oh my god. And then immediately after that, we see Ghost Trick Phantom Detective. I will not say any more than that, but I am so proud and happy that we get representation of what I think is one of the most underrated DS games that I'm so glad got a port so people can experience this fucking masterpiece of a story as I pour more drink. Some good shit, I'll tell you what. And then I saw Flandra Scarlet on, inside the building. I was like, who let you out of the basement? But really good Flandra cosplay. Normally I don't see them done this well, but holy shit. In my opinion, way back in the day, we're talking, early 2010s, I thought she was overrated, but now I'm like, yeah, Tuhu is Tuhu. I'm just glad anybody remembers that far. And then the next panel I went to was the glasses tiny legs. Wait, really? Holy shit, you're right. Okay, so what are those Toho? Yes. The glasses panel. This guy was funny. He covered quite literally every kind of glasses in anime, and things got really outlandish really fast. To the point where he brought these out, and after the panel, I asked, can I get photos? And sure. He got the bocce eyeglass holding stand, as well as a Kogasa Fumo with Fumo glasses. Fun fact, I actually own 2 of these acrylic glasses holder stands, each of them of a Hololive. One of them is Toki no Sora, and I forgot who the other one was. Because they are buried in my room somewhere, and I don't actually use them, because I am drowning in holo merch, and I think I should open an eBay and sell some of it, but no, I don't want to. It was a really good panel. After that, when waiting for the next panel to start, which was a Zap panel, I pulled out my flute, and I was surrounded by flute players. To the left of me was a band teacher. To the right of me was someone who played the flute for 10 years. Or was it 10 years ago? I can't remember. Anyway, they were both better than me. But then, when playing my flute, I saw this particular Ness. This particular Ness is the same Ness that I saw at my very first Sakuracon. And I'm like, Ness! And we were so excited to see each other again. So much that I just straight up dropped my flute on my ground, grabbed my bat, and just got pictures ready. He has Mr. Saturn hair? Yes, he does. And we noticed we do the same thing with each of our baseball bats. We keep all of the peace bonding ribbons on the hilt of our bat as a collection of all of our adventures. This Ness and I, we are the ultimate Ness. It is, I'm so glad I got to see him again. I was worried that I wouldn't see him again. But, fun fact, right behind the other Ness is Tadadu. You can see him there. It's okay, you can't see his face from this angle. But it's fine. I dropped my flute mid-song to get this photo. And then right after that, the next Zap panel is a cosplay panel. The object of this panel was that all 3 male panelists sitting at the desk would stand in front and undress into their Speedos. The other 2 panelists would then dump all of the cosplay apparel in those bins on the ground, and 3 volunteers from the audience would each have 5 minutes to dress up their panelist model, and they had to dress them. You can't just hand it to the panelist and have them put on the clothes. No, you have to put the clothes on them to a theme that the audience chooses. And the winner is chosen by audience enthusiasm. It was very fun, and things got very silly very fast. I took a lot of pictures for this panel. As you can see, things got absolutely wild. What? That's a strange thing? It was funny as fuck. When I said the Zap panels are all about being absolutely crazy, outlandish, funny, I don't know, now I don't want to go. You don't understand. This shit got hilarious. Everybody was fucking dying. Like, oh my god. Random cosplay stuff. Like, they had so many different cosplay things. And to the point, we... freaking this guy, this is the sexy Bidoof from earlier, by the way. Same guy. They dressed him up in this, all of this stuff. He could barely move. This was the funniest showdown. Oh my god. Like, he could barely move. And afterwards, I'm like, you know what? I think I'll do it. I gotta say, I'm proud how it turned out. And I actually won the round I was part in. I was part of the final round where they switched up the rules, where we only had 4 minutes. It was a speed round, and every minute they'd have us switch models. And when we switch, we could either sabotage the opponent's model or add to it. So what I did, I sabotaged by addition. I just started adding random things to the model. And I saw some Christmas stockings, or like the little stockings that you hang by the fireplace. They weren't actual real stockings, but like the big red Christmas sock with the white wool. It barely fit because it wasn't meant for that purpose, but I put it on each of the other models' feet. And the other panelists, the other model, my opponents, didn't even see it. It was a stealth sabotage. I just put one singular sock on them, and they didn't see it. And believe it or not, my prompt for this was job interview at the DMV. So yes, my panelist here that I dressed up won the job interview at the DMV. It was great because I kind of cheated a little bit by handing him my baseball bat. I didn't realize that I brought it up with me on stage because I'm always holding it. I'm like, wait, hold this. So I'm like, all right, sweet, baseball bat, cool. And right after that, Godzilla! I spotted Godzilla and we had the ultimate showdown of Ultimate Destiny. I lost. I'm no match for fucking Godzilla, you kidding? I can save the world, but Godzilla? God damn, man. Save that for the pros. Whew. Oh yeah, May, if you're still here, by the way, I now have experience not dressing 1, but dressing 3 full-grown half-naked men. Do what you want with that information. But yeah, Godzilla. It was great. Several people wanted this photo. I always feel validated when I go for a group photo like this and several people gather around wanting a photo. Undressing is the fun part. That's what I do every day. That's like the first thing I do when I get home. Right. I went back to the hotel and I took a picture of the sign near the elevator on the 20th floor. Because it turns out, to get to the room, all we had to do, instead of turning left and walking all the way around the floor, if we just turn right, our room is right there around the corner. And we didn't realize that until we saw the misleading signs, because 2011 to 2001, that's backwards. So like, what the fuck? So then I remembered, when we get off the elevator, look for the Drive 2011 sign. It'll take you right to the room. And bam. That's it. Drive 2011 has given us peak efficiency. Wait. Oh god, I'm drunk. Let's fucking go. Alright, I'm as drunk as I was on Saturday night. Let's go. And it's Saturday in the timeline, too. And so on the right of this picture is the Drive 2011 sign, and at the end of the hallway is my room. It's right there. We took the long way around. I was like, fuck. But yeah, that's how hotels be. I'm reminded of last year at Offkai. G11 couldn't find the elevator from my room, so he went down 17 flights of stairs. Motherfucker. He would do that. It's okay, he was drunk. But you should totally make that point picture an emote. It's pretty small, but I could actually. DM it to me, because I'm gonna forget. I'm drunk. After that, Tadadu and I pre-gamed by taking another shot of 57% Smith & Cross rum, downed with another shot of Jepson's Malort, and we went to the restaurant of Gay Plants in Seattle! Just kidding. We went and got ramen. This ramen came out really fast. I went and got myself takoyaki on the side, and he got himself some chicken karaage on the side. We both got even more alcohol, and I shared my alcohol with him, because I know for a fact if I drank that whole sake thing, I would be fucking sloshed and unable to walk back to the convention. But yeah, it was good. It was quite good. Again, the limit was $200, and we didn't even come fucking close. Xander, if you're lurking, we're eating like kings. Do what you want with that information. Basically, if you meet me at a convention and we get up, if you're my roommate at a convention, we're eating good, and you don't have to worry. That's how it works. Choo-hoo-hoo on the road! Another one! I found, like, Giga Chad Choo-hoo-hoo, like the buff macho one. I love it. That's one of my favorite memes, is the Choo-hoo-hoo. Like, not only does we get fat post Choo-hoo-hoo, but we also get Giga Chad buff Choo-hoo-hoo. She can do both. RuneScape. I'm so glad we get OSG reps. I loved RuneScape all the way up until 2006? 2007-ish? I think it was 2006 that I put the game down. Because the internet went out at my house for a whole month. Like, the computer broke. And I couldn't play RuneScape for a month. And because of that, I just it forced me to cold turkey RuneScape. And when the computer came back on, I just had no intention of playing again. Oh yeah, and to the left is another free run with Himmel the hero. Are those gnomes? Yes! There was a gnome that I failed to take a picture of. But there were some gnomes, yes. By the way, this is what I like to call the outdoor park plaza area. This is technically not part of the convention space, but it's a really good spot for cosplay photos. So there's a lot of professional cosplayers further down the path to the right of the photo. And you'll get to see, I got to take a picture of one of said cosplayers near the end of this slideshow. And I'm pretty happy how it turned out. I'm glad she consented to the photo, because they were near the end of their photo shoot. That bling toad, you like, yo, I didn't even notice that! But yeah, there's a lot of silly cosplays like that, and I love it. I then went to the arcade and played Roller Coaster Tycoon Pinball. This was the only pinball that was open. Every other pinball was either out of order or already taken. For good reason, because I played it and I didn't last very long. And I later talked to Tadadu about this pinball. And while I loved the original Roller Coaster Tycoon games on Windows 98, according to Tadadu, this pinball machine sucks! And after playing it, I agree. For different reasons, but yeah, I would not play this one again. But hey, I got to play pinball again. This is the arcade. There's a lot of machines here, and there's usually always people here, except for 7 a.m. Sunday morning, which I'll get into during the Sunday portion. But yeah, I try to spend some time at the arcade. It's a shame that the Off-Kai arcade isn't very big, but the Sakuracon Cafe arcade is quite large. It's this huge area. There's machines everywhere. On the far side of the room are a ton of rhythm games and DDR machines. And I'm like, how the fuck are you guys playing DDR? My feet want to fall off. I took a picture of every game I played, including this one, which is like a little accuracy shooting game. There was a rando next to me that was interested in playing. I'm like, hey, want to play this? I'm like, sure, let's play it. And it was fun. I can't remember who won. I think I won, but it doesn't fucking matter. But it was a nice little light gun shooting game. They had Quick and Crash again, and it was... I still have that video Tadadu took of me last year of getting 7 seconds on Quick and Crash. Like, bruh, so good. And now, a core memory. You'll see me holding my ocarina in this, because after the arcade, I was still drunk and buzzed, and I was wandering, and I saw this ukulele player just playing, strumming chords, and playing random things, seated up against the wall, near the main stage entrance. And I walked up to him and said, hey man, you play that thing? And he's like, yeah, I'm just waiting for that line to go down, so I'm jamming. The line for the baggage drop-off was all the way to the Sky Bridge. It was a very long line, and he was just jamming, just waiting for the line to go down so he could drop off his bag and enter the concert. I don't even know what was going on in the main stage, and I didn't care. All I cared about was, hey, wanna jam? I pull out my ocarina, and he's all like, shit, man, you play that thing? I megalovania him, and he's all like, all right, man, let's play. He starts playing things, and fortunately, I don't know what it was, but it was compatible with a C major chord progression, because I just started jamming. I just started playing whatever came to mind, and we each lost ourselves in the music. It was a core memory experience. And then I look, and the line to the bags was nearly empty. And then I play, like, a descending scale pattern to signal, like, the end of the song. And then he looks at me and he's all like, holy shit, man, that was incredible! Wow, you're so good at things! I'm like, yeah, thanks, man. I just play this thing for fun. It's alright, man. That was some good ukulele playing you got there. And best part is, the line's empty. And I point to the line, he's like, holy crap, man, you're right! Good stuff. Shout outs to this ukulele player guy. It's like, yo, can I get a photo with you really quick? He's all like, heck yeah, man, that was fun. So good. So, pure core memory. What isn't as core of a memory is this butchie pair that were playing guitar and acoustic bass. Is that an acoustic bass? But they were playing, and I'm like, yo, let's jam! And it didn't go nearly as well, because the way they were playing, it wasn't in C major. So I tried to improvise, but it's alright. Legs? Oh, there's a lot of legs at conventions. If you want to see cosplayer legs, there's always legs. You will always see cosplayer legs at conventions. If you're into legs, it's wonderful. I think legs are okay, but they aren't what get me going in the morning, if you know what I mean. But we still had a good time, even if I couldn't jam with them very well. Not enough tummy? That's fine. But if you see to the immediate right of them, that lit up Master Sword is the same Link and Zelda from earlier, and I hit them with Saria's song again. Zoom, enhance, fully enhanced, very nice. But yeah. Hey yo, are they finally retrieving the Artemis crew? They pulled up in the buoy. Nice. I'm looking at the first monitor Artemis mission. I'm so glad they're back. This is good shit. By the way, this is photo 120 of 180 in the slideshow. We still got plenty of stream content left. I found Yume Nikki, a very rare cosplay. I wasn't expecting, like, this is, in terms of cosplay, this is incredibly niche. So I feel blessed to have a Yume Nikki representative here at Sakuracon. So, there are some more niche cosplays later. But it looks like they've opened the capsule and are retrieving the crew of the Artemis. This is great news for mankind and NASA. Wonderful. Only heard of the game, I know nothing about it. I've seen gameplay, and it's not a game I would play, but it is a game that, I don't want to say interests me, but I feel like it really paved the way for surreal indie RPG maker games. Which I think is good. I think it's a good thing. I know G11 fucking loves it. I went back to the arcade, and anytime I see an error screen or out of order screen, I take a picture of it. This unfortunate arcade machine had an error window on it, so like, bruh, how do you even close out of that? I met Lucas, very cool. I was going down the escalator, and I stuck up behind him. It's like, Lucas! It's like, it is my long-lost brother. It's like, yes, it is I! So glad I see another Lucas. My brother from another mother, if you will. I can be funny sometimes. Next picture. I found Homelander! Hey, Nep, if you're lurking, we found Homelander! He owned the role, too. I know Homelander is the villain, but, like, you can be a villain character, but still be a good guy in cosplay. Like, yeah, my character is a villain, but this guy was a total bro. I'm like freaking, yes, it's Homelander. Good shit. And that concludes Saturday. At least in terms of pictures. Oh, man. Now, it's worth noting that the Zap panels, they had panels that lasted from 10:30 to midnight. Those panels were 18 plus and are usually their main attractions. But unfortunately, this picture was taken at about 10 p.m. and I was ready to clock out. I was zonked. I was dead tired. And it's like, man, I later spoke to Zap and told him, like, he's like, man, I wish I could see you at those panels again. You were so funny 2 years ago. Because people still recognize me from my Zap panel from 2 years ago. Where that 10:30 panel was on at 8:30 instead. And my debate arguing for femboys versus tomboys, they got the whole crowd fucking roaring because it was the last debate of the panel, and I fucking brought the house down. And I just told him, like, man, it's unfortunate I physically cannot stay up that late. I get up at 5 a.m. for work. It's just too late for me. However, that is prime time that you set up for that kind of panel. And honestly, I feel like it would be better for most people that way anyways, that would come to that kind of panel. So while I personally would want it to be at 8:30 instead of 10:30, I feel like for the greater majority, 10:30 would be the better start time for that kind of panel. Honestly, the nighttime panels are kind of repetitive, while the other toothpaste debate. I wish I was there for that toothpaste debate, because that became a running joke throughout all of Sunday. I can kind of piece together based on context what happened, but it's a shame I couldn't make it for that one. But you know what? It's alright. Yukino started rewatching The Boys. Thanks for sticking around. You don't normally stay this long in stream, so I appreciate it. And with that, it's dawn of the final day, but it's also dawn of the Bezos break. So, we will get into the next part of stream after the ad break. So, yeah, I take an ad break every hour and 2 minutes-ish to keep the ads away from everyone. You're always here till the end? Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. I feel like being second monitor or even third monitor content is ideal because, let's face it, I'm not fucking first monitor content. The fucking Artemis mission is first monitor content. I am streaming right now, and my own stream is on second monitor with the Artemis mission on first monitor. Like, bruh. It would not be the first time I've had streams on while streaming. You're in my first today because you're working on the other desk? Well, thanks! Feels good, man. I know my place. The fact that you're here at all means millions to me. So, thanks. It's really confidence boosting because, believe it or not, I'm gonna get all sappy while the ads roll. So I'm gonna roll the ads, and for the next 3 minutes, I'm gonna get it all drunk and sappy on you fucks. So let's fucking go. Here we go. Don't watch the ads! They're playing now. It's nice being able to stream like this, honestly. Freaking... When my buddy was telling me about his panel expectations, like if he's expecting only 2 people to show up, and I'm like, nah, you're good, man. People are gonna show up to your panel. You got like a crazy good prompt and title. Like, people are gonna show up. Neither of us were expecting the panel to completely sell out. Like, well, not sell out because it's free, but neither of us were expecting the panel to be at capacity and just having to turn people down at the door. I'm hoping that he runs the panel again next year, but in a bigger room. I would gladly be there and help out, because the panel's really good. It was a solid, good panel. So, I think it's worth doing it again. As we'll see in the Sunday portion of my stream here, a panel that I went to turns out was a rerun of the panel that was ran last year. So, it is acceptable to run panels again, and I think I'll talk to my buddy about this. I'm intentionally leaving him anonymous, because I know he does not consent to having his personality shown on stream. So it's like, yeah, you're good, man. We all know he's my buddy, and I talk about him and his qualities a lot, but I never identify him. And I feel like that's fine. That's as far as I go. I'm pretty good about respecting privacy. For example, Xander Kane, my roommate for this year at Offguy, who I met last year at Offguy, he's a great guy, you should check him out. But during our Cheese collab, I noticed that he accidentally face revealed himself on camera. So when going through my portion of the stream and blurring that out, I timestamped it and sent him the timestamps of when he accidentally did that so he could take care of it on his end as well. A big part of streaming is respect, actually, and it goes both ways. Respecting the viewer's time, respecting the streamer's privacy, etc. I can appreciate Tadadu today, for example, asking about Giddy Gila, another streamer friend of mine who lives in Japan, asking her about employment opportunities in Japan, even if it might compromise her general area. And I said, Giddy is a nice enough person that it wouldn't hurt to ask. The worst she'll say is, I understand, but I don't want to give away things about my location. But I think in that case, she could still give some insight on getting jobs in Japan. So I think it's a net positive. I think one of the biggest takeaways for me after starting streaming and befriending a bunch of VTubers is that you can just fucking talk to a VTuber. Especially if you join their community, they are happy to help out whenever they can. I feel like I've grown from what I was 5 years ago for starting VTubers. Take it from me. The worst thing you can do to an independent VTuber is put them on a pedestal. Never do that. Don't make that mistake. Please don't. Look, I want to be the last person to do that. I'll admit I did that. And you live and learn. Don't do that. Never do that. I can guarantee you, if they're an independent VTuber that is in it for the community interaction and having a good time and they're not in it for profit, never put them on a pedestal. Interact with them. They will love it if you ask them questions, if you interact with them, if you just talk to them. Like, freaking, I've been talking to Mushi lately, that neat tuber who recently got a job. And she is a wonderful person to talk to, I'll tell you what. And she told me, spoiler alert, she, like me, started streaming because she wanted to make friends. A lot of VTubers don't have making friends in mind. But the ones that do have that in mind, you can kind of tell. And you can be their friend. I tried to be that with you guys. I'm drunk. Fuck it, I'm continuing. I tried to be that with y'all. And I've made so many friends doing this. It's like, fuck yeah, let's do this. Let's keep going. This is nice. I'm drunk off of Malort. The first thing that comes to mind, and one of my favorite concert clips ever, is that clip of the Midnight concert where the saxophonist gets off the stage and does the saxophone solo in the audience. And people are just dancing and vibing around him. Some people got their phones out recording. Motherfucker grabs someone's phone and just like plays the saxophone solo with one hand, because you can do that at certain parts of the solo, while basically selfie recording himself doing the sax solo in the audience. You can't do that with big corpo tubers. But with more independent VTubers, especially those with smaller audiences, or if everyone's just there for a good time and a mutual understanding, we're friends? Wow, I made friends. Yes! Motherfucker, if I right-click your name in Discord and check profile, it says we're friends. I don't know if you need any more evidence than that. Nests do be small audience by design. A big part, I think the number one advice to give to any VTuber or content creator in general is to be very active on social media, posting your schedule, interacting with other content creators, etc., and getting yourself out there. Talon, I'm drunk and talking about the one thing that is recommended that I do that I don't actually do, and that is interacting on social media. Welcome in, Talon. I am drunk, and we're talking about my convention experiences. You know what? Let's get back into it. If you don't know who I am, I'm Talon's friend, and I'm really drunk right now, and we're talking about Sakuracon, a anime convention in the Pacific Northwest in the Seattle area that I went to last weekend, and I'm talking about my experiences and sharing my photos. Today, I'm drunk and we are going into the final day. I'm sorry, but you missed Friday and Saturday, but hey, there's still Sunday. So thanks for getting me back on track. I was getting all sentimental rambly for a second. But this is when I woke up. I woke up at 6. And you know what? This is fine. I'll wake up at 6 a.m. for a convention. I slept like shit again, but that's besides the point. The point is, I was ready to end the convention with a bang, and oh my god, today, little did I know that today, Sunday, well, today in the timeline, on Sunday at the convention, I would have a 5-minute experience that would alter the timeline forever. And I'll get to it when I get to the photo. But first, when I took a shit that morning, I noticed there was a hotel phone right next to the toilet. And I'm like, why is that there? Genuinely, why is that there? Why is there a corded phone next to the toilet in a hotel? I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is safety. Like, if you fall in and can't get out, you can call for room service. If you're on the shitter emptying your bowels and it's all like, I want another pizza, you can like just order a pizza on the phone, I guess. I don't know. Wait! If you're out of toilet paper, you can get room service to get you more toilet paper. This could be easily solved with a bidet. Just saying. Just saying. But yeah, this took me by surprise, because bear in mind, for the past 2 days at this point, I've gotten shit for sleep, I'm slightly hungover, and I look to the right, roll perception, and I roll high enough, and see this fucking phone out of nowhere. Like, has this always been there? Has there been a fucking telephone next to the bathroom? Next to the toilet, even? I'm like, okay. This is fine. Thanks, hotel. The Gat Regency thinks of everything. But yeah, I eat my MRE, and I head on over to the arcade. The arcade at 7 a.m. Sunday morning is nearly empty! I get to play Taiko no Tatsujin! And the drum I picked had a faulty sensor. It didn't register some of my hits, and I'm like, fuck. That's unfortunate. But it goes to show how frequently it's used. Like, if the Taiko no Tatsujin has a faulty sensor, it has lived through its heyday. You know it's gotten its mileage in. And the knight in shining armor principle applies. Like, sweet. What I mean by that is you can never trust a knight in shining armor because he's never had his metal tested. If his armor is all dented and scratched, that's how you know he's been through some shit. But then, this particular photo. This fucking game, I see it every year. Densha de Go, translated to English meaning go by train, is a train simulator arcade game. It always has a line for it. And I've always been kinda curious in the back of my mind, like, what the fuck is this super popular train game? I've never gotten an opportunity to play it, but I'm slightly hungover at 7 a.m. on a Sunday morning. Fuck it. I'll sit down and try it. So I play the tutorial, which takes me like 5 minutes. And I'm immediately fucking hooked. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. This has unlocked my train autism. I knew I had autism, but goddamn. Y'all in the Discord, which, by the way, you should totally join the Discord, by the way. I am active there 24/7, pretty much. The only time I'm not in the Discord is if I'm driving, asleep, or currently doing something. I am always in the Discord. Fucking talk to me, man. Anyway. I've been posting train content a lot. This fucking game activated my train autism. This entire week when I've at work, I've just been putting train documentaries and informative video essays about Japanese train systems on YouTube. I have learned more about the Shinkansen system in Japan this week than I've learned about pretty much anything in public school. It's true, I'm talking to him right now. What the fuck? I mean, yes. Densha de Go. It's a very autism game. But I recommend you try it at least once if you can. Now, to toot my own horn, pun intended, this game is on Switch. And I did go through Play Asia to get it. And I will be streaming it in the near future, in the very near future. So if you're curious about what the fuck this train game is, why don't you drop a follow, or if you fucking hate me, just join the Discord for when I post about it in the Discord when I stream it, and you get to see Densha de Go on Nintendo Switch, and learn what is so great about Japanese trains, because holy shit, it is a new rabbit hole that I never thought I'd be falling down, but you know what, here we are. I now understand why this particular arcade cabinet has such a huge line at every convention. So, thank you, me, for just being curious about this game at 7 a.m. on a Sunday morning. I've forever altered the timeline. I've given myself, I have long awoken the dormant train autism within me. Tell me more about it later? You know what? Just fucking talk to me. DM me, message me in Discord, whatever. I'm drunk. I'll do whatever. It's fine. But yeah, Densha de Go. I love it. It's a fun game. I suck at it. Like, really bad. It's gonna be funny. It's a train game. I'm not gonna say any more than that. And then after that, in the arcade, I found Cyrano with an iced coffee. I just pointed out, like, is that Cyrano with an iced coffee? And he's like, you bet it is. So I got a picture of him sipping the iced coffee. Wow, I'm drunk. Oh my god. I didn't think I'd get this drunk for this stream. Fuck! It's fine. Jepson's Malort. It's fine. I like it. I'm like the only motherfucker that drinks this shit, but we're good. I mean, Tadadu doesn't hate it, so that's the win. I took a picture of this because their little owl mascot is really cute. I don't know, man. It's something about this aesthetic that gets me, like, neuron activated. Wait, I can do owl stuff? Check this out. Baseball! Understandable. Have a great day. When I learned how to owl call on the ocarina, that was funny. Wait, let me try it on the bass ocarina. That's gonna sound an octave lower. Okay, that sounds kind of silly. What if I play G? Okay, it doesn't sound as good on the bass ocarina, but it's fine. I then noticed the Time Crisis 2 cabinet. Half of that was out of order, so does this make it Time Crisis 1? That's alright. I always loved the Time Crisis games. They just like... They were goofy, but also kind of fun, even if they're arcade games designed to steal your quarters. But hey, at a convention arcade, they're all free to play. I then played this silly sushi cutting game, but I don't think I got it to work properly. Either that I was just doing it wrong. But ultimately what you had to do was move the knife left and right and then chop whatever was on the cutting board. But I don't think I was able to really do it right. It was a pretty novel concept and I liked it, but I just wish I could figure out how to get the game working. But after fiddling with it for 10 minutes, I'm like, you know what? This is all right. If it's there next year, I might Google how to make it work, but I do like myself some sushi. As you know from my first quiz show, sushi is my favorite food, and that's actually why I don't go out for sushi very often. It's because it's my favorite food. I like experiencing new things, especially novel, tricky new things. So, while yes, if you take me to a sushi restaurant, I'm gonna go to the menu and order the most expensive exotic things, I do prefer getting new things. And my rule for restaurants with friends is try not to take me to some place you've been before. I really like experiencing new things. This is also one of the reasons why one of my favorite things to do with people I meet is if they have autism, I want them to open up to me about their hyperfixation. I've been trying to get Mushi to yap at me, and she's still reserved about it. But the instant she opens up and yaps about me, I'll know it's like, yo, we are cheese collabing so hard. I do want to collab with more people, including Talon, Mushi, Raz, another collab person. I want to do different kinds of collabs, not just cheese anymore. I've been thinking tabletop simulator. Rats? Yes, you love rats. Basically, if you have an autistic hyperfixation and you are on a DM basis with me, you can make me really happy by just freaking starting to ramble about your hyperfixation to me. I love hearing about it. Don't think I don't. Like, straight up. If you think you're bothering me or not. Moving on. I found the Master Ball, the one and only. Case in point, this was the only Master Ball at the convention. And we wasted it on a Pidgey, but it's fine, don't worry about it. Jeez, huh? And in your case, I think you'd be bothering. Tadadu, in your particular one case, Listen, that's only because your fixation is horny, okay? And it's not horny for something I'm also horny about. That's the only problem. If we had the same kind of horny, then sure, why not? Sending a 4-page paragraph about bowling? Yo! Hey, Talon! It's your cousin Ness! Let's go bowling! Let's fucking go. You wanna bother me? Why don't you bother me? Why are you holding yourself back? Seriously! Oh man. Oh god, I'm so drunk. Holy shit. It's a Friday night. I'm allowed to be this drunk. I had a good week. I had a good weekend. Work was good this week. We're good. We're good. Okay. I found the isekai truck who is improved from last year. He has an Amazon uniform with a bloody Amazon box. Oh my god. I remember Isekai Truck from last year, but he really went all out this year. This is wonderful. I'm not bothering enough? You are not bothering enough. I'm trying to think of any time you've ever bothered me. I think the most bothered I'd ever been was when you ask me something during stream and I can't answer it just because I'm streaming, but then I just answer it after stream. So it's really not that bad. You just have to wait till after stream. Oh god. Wow. Okay, Malort. I like Malort. I'm like the only motherfucker in this planet that likes Malort. Oh yeah, I'm drunk. Fuck yeah. Okay. Okay. We are at image 136 of 180. We still have plenty of slideshow to go. Because this is still Sunday morning. The morning panel I went to was racing in anime. Introducing all sorts of racing anime. And I learned a lot this panel, but since we all arrived 20 minutes early, before the panel started, we all got into a pretty unanimous agreement discussion on Formula 1. Namely, Formula 1 memes and how shitty the season has been so far. But overall, really, really good panel. I learned a lot. Red Line had its own segment. I must get ready for bed. Have fun, Rick. Thanks for the raid, Talon. I hope you have a great rest of your night. I'm funny sometimes. The anime Overtake was actually the first anime mentioned, and I actually want to watch that. That is an anime that genuinely interests me. I want to watch that anime. He likes it when you talk about your kinks? Yes, actually, unless your kinks are spammed in the Discord, in which fucking don't do that. Unless it's unanimously accepted, in which keep it to the OSHA violations channel, which is invite only. God damn! It's fine. Anyway! Racing panel, good. It was very fun. Pretty much everyone in the room, we could talk about Formula 1. I played the Dutch national anthem and he didn't recognize it and because he wasn't a Verstappen fan. But it's fine. Now, if there's any photo that I'm very proud of for my idea, it's this one. The Taiko no Tatsujin. I saw him and I'm like, yo, let me get a picture of you about to hit you with my bat. And a crowd of people gathered to get this photo. We almost blocked traffic. We almost had a staff member tell us, like, could you please move? You're blocking the entrance. But everybody loved this. Have a great rest of your night. It's necessary. Fuck, I'm drunk. I wasn't supposed to get this drunk. I'm just really happy the Artemis 2 crew splashed down safely. This is wonderful. But yeah, I still have the stream up. But yeah, Taiko no Tatsujin, after a great rest of your night, yes. The good photo, good times. I love it. I saw Pepsi Man. I almost got escalator cursed, but there's 2 escalators. I caught this guy between the escalators. I'm like, Pepsi Man! So I got the Pepsi Man. Very cool. I don't even like Pepsi. Well, I did, but then I stopped drinking soft drinks. If I had to choose a soda to drink, only Dr. Pepper actually, but Pepsi is a very close second. It used to be Pepsi, but then I watched Steins Gate and tried Dr. Pepper for the first time, and I'm like, oh, fuck me, I guess. Itasha's. In a nearby parking lot between the hotel and the convention, there was a parking lot with some Itashas. Shit, there's one in the background that I didn't get. Fuck! It's fine, these guys are near the sidewalk. I don't know which horse this is. Oh, goody cap. It says on the back there. Okay. No soft drinks, only hard drinks. Chewing on ice. I hate chewing on ice. If you chew on ice, you're a fucking savage barbarian monster. I don't understand how people can chew on ice. That ruins me. I tried it exactly once, and it made me more uncomfortable than I won't finish that sentence due to Twitch TOS. This next one is, oh god, everything's blurry. I drank too much. Oopsies! Anyway, there's some Itashas. Good stuff. You know, fun fact, the kanji for Itasha is literally cringe car. The first kanji is the kanji for pain, and the second kanji is the kanji for car. Let me type it out for you. There it is. So that is the... Whenever an anime character says, Itai! Like it hurts, that is literally the first kanji of Itasha. I don't know, man. I kinda like them. It takes a lot of confidence to drive these, actually. So, you know what? More power to them. I'm just glad I got to see some Itashas. Crap, how many Itashas did I take? Hatsune Miku? I've never understood why Hatsune Miku is so popular. All of the Vocaloid songs that I hear always sound better when a human covers the song. And I will die on that fucking hill. I genuinely dislike Vocaloid music. Lately, the only exception has been the extremely rare Kasane Teto meme cover. Emphasis on meme cover because it's a fucking meme. I think the only one that I've kinda tolerated, just because of its presentation and thematics, is Unemployed by Kasane Teto, which released like a week ago. That song's funny. Miku Miku Mi! God damn it. Oh, fuck. Nico Nico Ni! God, I did not plan this. Oh my god. Oh, anyway. Friggin' Itashas are cool. I like them. Good Smile Racing Company deserves to win more GT races. I'll die. I'll kinda die on that hill, but it's fine. It's whatever. Okay. Hey, you did it! Thanks, you too! Fuck! Oh my god. Okay! This cosplay is the rarest cosplay I've ever seen. This is Hanani no Miya from Mahjong Soul. And when I saw her, I pointed and said, Hanani no Miya! And she said, yes! Fun fact. When I first started Mahjong Soul, Hana was actually my favorite character. Not to be confused with 2K's accusation of Hannah. No, this is Hanani no Miya. the shy artistic glasses girl. But she's not so much shy as she is kind of reserved. There's a big difference between that. And she was very happy that I recognized her because it is an incredibly niche cosplay. And, well, I think she did it quite well. I like it. I'm glad I got to meet her on the streets as I was heading to my next area, which was Zap's Arcade of Love? In this panel, Zap Brannigan, currently dressed as Dr. Eggman, introduces incredibly obscure Japanese imported games for audience members to try. Almost all of them are multiplayer. Needs more Minami cosplay? Do it yourself, dude. If you want to be the waifu you want to see in the world. They weren't that obscure? Oh yeah? Well, how come I only saw one? Huh? Bruh. Oh, fuck. Oh my god, I'm hecking so... I am so fucking drunk. This is fine. I'm gonna be this drunk tomorrow for karaoke. God damn. Anyway. But I got plenty of photos of this. For example, a game that was included was fucking Superman 64. And the best part is, the gnome in the audience almost managed to clear the first level. The goal was to just clear the first level with the rings, and he almost did it. It's like the longest minute and a half of your life. But yes, Superman 64 was a highlight. Another highlight in this picture, who by request I've covered his face, is Tadadu, who's in chat right now, playing the Razor Scooter Tony Hawk game. Freaking the Chad here, picking Chad, he figured out how to play the game relatively quickly. Unfortunately, his opponent did not know what a video game was and could not figure out how to play the game on a fundamental level. But you know what? It's fine. We all had a good time. So Tadadu kind of swept the floor in terms of it. But you know what? The whole point of this panel is to have audience members play random games they've never heard of and try to figure shit out. It's basically Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk had a learning curve for you two at first. Understandable, yeah. It's Tony Hawk, but with Razor scooters. When I was younger, I did have a original gray-colored Razor scooter, like the original first lineup. I jumped and rode that thing so hard that the frame got bent from regular use because I jumped it so much, and the wheels got chips. Like, the wheels got chipped. I fucking rode that thing until it was unsafe to ride. It didn't have a wheelie bar, but that didn't fucking stop me. I also got to participate in this one. This photo is courtesy of Tadadu. I handily won this N64 snowboarding game. I think based on last year and this year, I feel like I have a very quick learning ability where if you drop me into a random, unexpected thing, I can quickly figure out what I'm supposed to do. So this photo was taken after I had already won, and it's fine. It was like Mario Kart. It's okay. SSX Tricky meets Diddy Kong Racing. That's what the game is. And to finish a lap, you had to go to a specific place on the course to board the ski lift. And if you missed it, you had to jump and waddle your way there. We all missed it our first time. Some people couldn't figure it out. I figured it out somewhat quickly. But yeah, it was a silly Japanese-only game, and honestly, we all had a good time. Thank you, Zap, for hosting these panels. He does occasionally, very rarely stream. If you go to Twitch TV/Spaceship of Love, that I just typed right there, that's apparently his Twitch channel. He doesn't stream often, if at all, but if he ever does, that's where he is. It's a pretty funny improv group. I really like them. I make a point to always go to their panels if I can. They are always a great time. You can also see Tommy Wiseau up to next to me on stage, as well as Zero and C2 from Code Geass. Very nice. After that, we praise the sun! Praise the sun! The best part, that panelist from earlier, my buddy, he took this photo. I ran into him on the sky bridge. I recognized him in his special coat that he was wearing. And then we saw Solaire, and I had him take this photo for me. So sun be praised! How can I be so grossly incandescent? Very nice. Yes! Yeah! Praise the sun! Everybody praise the sun right now! Sun be praised! We just got back from the moon. We praise the sun. This is a potted plant. It's actually a guy in a full ghillie suit that carries a pot around. I caught him in the escalator. I hardly know her, and I was very impressed. What? Sun? There is no sun here. I'll show you a sun. Golden sun grab. Sun chips grab. Sunny D grab. Pants grab in case I ever somehow have a kid. I don't plan on ever having kids. That's why I don't want a relationship. Because in a long-term relationship with marriage, normally the girl wants kids. I am not about that life. I'd rather be single. Let's fucking go. I found this massive Totoro, and I wanted to do the iconic umbrella pose of standing next to Totoro with my bat as the umbrella. It was only after the con that I realized, wait, I stood on the wrong side, but it's fine. I still got this photo. I like this photo. This is nice. Before the con, my sister messaged me saying, hey, if you find any Totoro merch, could you buy it as a gift for your nephews? Because they've watched Totoro and really like it. And I said, I'll keep an eye out. A Totoro plush, smaller than my ocarina, about the size of my baseball, was $30. I said, no thanks. I told my sister after the convention. A very small Totoro plush about the size of a baseball was $30, so I decided not to get one. However, I got this instead, and I sent her this photo. So she said, thanks, we'll put it in the living room. Man, a life-size Totoro must be nice. You know, I actually have some fond memories of Totoro, the film. The day before, the only girl from high school who I confirmed actually liked me. She was a post, but her personality was 10 out of 10. I humored her. She was quite nice. There were lots of hugs and cuddles involved, but we couldn't be together because, well, she was moving across the country, her senior year of high school, and I had just graduated. We watched Torariro Totoro together. It was my first time watching, and we watched it together in her trailer park house as the night before she was gonna move across the country as a final goodbye. And that is my memory with Totoro, with her. She would later, before we left, she told me she'd never meet anyone like me. 1 week later, she messaged me on Facebook saying she met a guy just like me. He would then knock her up and leave her. He also happened to be a furry, but do what you want with that information. Anyway, I met another Joker that he had that thing on the ground that I don't know what it is. It's probably a Persona thing. I've never played Persona, but I did the Joker trick to him. I love doing that Joker trick. The Joker trick's so good. For those who missed the Joker trick, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna show you guys the Joker trick in real time. Here we go. I'm drunk. And I hope I can do my magic trick drunk. Alright, deck of cards. Pick a card, any card, it doesn't matter what card. You pick a card? What are you, some kind of fucking Joker? It's all Joker. I have nothing but Joker. She was hitting on you, you fucking knucklehead? listen. I dodged a bullet. She now has a kid and is a single mother. I want nothing to do with that. She's also a post. I want nothing to do with that. It's fine. Like I said, I'd rather be single. The single life is great. I have airsoft guns, musical instruments, and soon-to-be train simulators. Chin Mama. You might like her, actually. She is, like... She's about my age, slightly younger, and, well... Actually... don't worry about it, it's fine. Anyway... Joker! Oh my god, this is probably the highlight of the convention. This is Otsukare, that mother VTuber. I.e., she is I think she's a single mother with her daughter, who also has a VTuber model, and she often has her daughter on stream with her. They were having a meet and greet, and I got to participate. I just happened to be in the area. And I was one of the people that could actually speak Japanese. And I got to speak to her daughter. Oh my god. I have confirmed that I can speak to a Japanese toddler and hold a very fundamental conversation. I hit her with the baseball ha in Japanese. Oh my god. I was like, Yaku ne! He made that Joker deck because he was scared of your powers of dissertation playing fuck off. But yes, actually, I'll show it later in the stream. But the guy that took this photo also took a Polaroid that I currently have in front of me, and I'll show it later in the stream. But I have a Polaroid of this moment, meeting Otsukare and her daughter. I believe her name is Reika. But I think, of all things to happen this convention, this is definitely way up there in terms of core memories. Holy shit, I was so glad. The funny part is the only reason this happened was because I decided not to go to the Nihongo Hanaso group event, where everybody just speaks Japanese and practices, and instead decided to wander. But fate was all like, nah, you're practicing Japanese, and behold, I got to have a very simple Japanese conversation with Reika-chan. I said some silly things, like how I liked baseball and how I also am a child because, you know, Ness is like 12. But yeah, it was fun. I could tell she was curious, and Otsukare was just standing in approval in the back. I can't tell if she was AFK, she didn't really say anything. It was her daughter doing all the talking. But I missed the opportunity to say Otsukare-sama desu. I did get to say my tagline. Nesu desu. I love saying that. Boku wa nesu desu. It just rolls off the tongue quite nicely. God, I'm drunk. Oh my god. But yeah, this was a chance encounter, and I'm like, oh my god. This is a preview for Offkai. If I meet a VTuber at Offkai, I'm gonna be like, oh my god, let's fucking go. The problem is, I'm not gonna be drunk at Offkai. I have the budget to throw away at Offkai to just get cocktails at the hotel bar. Oh my god. Hit me with that $30 cocktail. It'll get me going because I'm a turbo lightweight. Let's fucking go. I'm gonna yap at that bartender. I wonder if I'll get kicked out of the bartender if I just start autistically yapping about my interests. Probably not. I'm sure they'll find me business. I'll tip them. I'll tip them for listening. I feel like, while I don't normally tip, I do tip. I do actually tip. I normally don't. However, if the circumstances I feel are worth, like, I had a better time than expected, or otherwise more experience than just receiving the food in a not so timely manner and eating, I'll tip. For example, that ramen, I think the bill was like $68, and I did the math and drunkenly rounded it to a perfect 70 in front of the waitress, who was probably like, this motherfucker tipping 2%. But I'm that guy. I'm autistic enough to do that. You will not catch me tipping 18 to 25% on a 3-figure bill. I will round it up to the nearest 5 and call it a clean number, and you're like, yeah! That is my opinion on tipping, and I will die on that fucking hill. I normally don't tip, but I was feeling good. It's that one meme image of like, I'm feeling particularly generous, keep the change. As she hands a $5 bill and the bill is $4.99. Another Majima! Wait, fuck, is this the same Majima from earlier? I just realized. Yo! Okay. He didn't tell me he was the same Majima. God. It's fine. It's fine. I got duped in my own photo set. It's fine. I really like Majima. Now, this is the penultimate panel of the convention, the Video Game Orchestra. And while I was in line for the orchestra, because the doors weren't open yet, I met Hoen Kyoma, the scientist, with Makise Kurisu, Steins Gate. The reason it's so pink was because of all of the lighting in the hallway was those LED Sakura trees, and they had the regular lights off with those, like, festival lanterns up top. A really nice aesthetic. I should have gotten a picture of it, but I didn't. I think for Offkai, I'm gonna... for every convention, I try to tell myself, man, just take a picture of the convention venue. That stuff is good stuff. I want to share that more, but you know what? I was so caught up in the moment, I can't photograph everything. If you haven't gone to an anime convention or any convention you're interested in, you have to go. I strongly recommend it. It is a wonderful experience. Get yourself out there, and honestly, don't be shy. I am a very shy person, believe it or not. But when I'm at a convention, I'm in streamer mode. I just go all out without a camera. I'm just like, I'm in the moment. I love it. I love it so much. I thrive in it. It's wonderful. It is a great experience. And I'm like, yo, let's fucking go. And while I was seated in the Video Game Orchestra, I met this couple with a Persona 5 cosplay with Joker! So I hit him with the Joker cosplay, with the Joker trick. And the guy sitting next to him spoiled the trick, and I'm like, it's fine. It's fine. However, the orchestra started, and this was my view. I got front row side seats, and I was very happy about that. However, as they started playing, light show. The people in charge of the lights gave mood lighting based on the song and game that was being played. Fuck, Tanaru, help me with the set list. They first played songs from Ocarina of Time. They also played songs from Spiritfarer, Final Fantasy VII. I know they played Gusty Garden Galaxy. What else did they play? Yeah, Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, that's a good one. Oh my god. Yeah, they did Spiritfarer. What else did they do? It was a really wonderful performance. Okay, Starbrail. Oh yeah! They did Hope is the Thing with Feathers! And the best part about that one is the conductor, before he said, alright, repeat after me, and he had the whole audience do the ha ha ha. I can't sing that high, but it's fine. I was probably singing in the wrong key. But you get the picture. And he had the audience do it, and I'm like, yeah, I love audience. Yeah, you Track City from the Pokemon Gen 2. I never played Gen 2, so yeah, he did that one. That was a good one. Before the concert started, one of the band members waved at me, and I instantly recognized him. And I made sure to get a photo with him after the concert. Do you recall English Horn Man and Flute Friend from earlier? I did not realize they were part of the Video Game Orchestra, but I get to have a picture with them. Holy crap, this was a wonderful reuniting. I'm really glad I met these two, even though I know nothing about them. It's because of these two that I was able to play my instrument and make a good impression on passerbys. I'm gonna pour another drink and send myself overboard for this next edit, because I'm about to get really sappy on you guys. I'm gonna skip forward in the timeline a little bit. On my way to the train station on the way home, a a guy approached me and said, "Hey, are you that Ness playing flute on Saturday?" And I said, "Yes, I was." And it's like, he said, "Yo, you were so good. It really made my morning getting to hear that you played all my favorite songs. I recognized every single one." I'm like, bro. I told him, like, man, because we were headed to the same train station. He was boarding the same train. I was like, bro, that was my first time ever doing something like that. This convention is my first time playing in public. He's like, "Yo, that's great. Have you been playing flute for a while? You're so good." I'm like, "I've only been playing for 4 months." He's like, 4 months? Are you kidding? That's incredible. And I'm all like, I opened up to him and I said, "Man, I'm not gonna lie. You talking to me about this right now just validated all of my efforts this whole entire year. And it's because of these two pictured here, as well as that random guy on the way to the train station, that I feel confident and motivated to continue just playing music for fun and doing it for conventions. I don't do it for money, I do it to just bring the vibe, and honestly, it's a great time for everyone involved. I think the real lesson here is you never know what positive impact you have on others, and a small talk compliment can really go a long fucking way. And, it was the perfect storm of just getting me ready to embrace being out of my comfort zone. Because when I set up my flute, I was really fucking nervous. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it's one thing to say, yeah, I've been practicing a lot, but once you set up flute and you're about to play, when I started playing flute, yeah, my nervousness kind of went away, but unlike when I was performing back in the day, my nervousness still kind of lingered. It was there in the back of my mind, but now, because of all this, as well as English Horn Man and Flute Friend here, as well as that guy from freaking Electric Violin Man, the 8-Bit Brass Band, getting to meet my inspiration, Insane in the Rain, and the guy I met near the train station, I am for sure 100% going to play at Offkai, as well as future Sakuracons. And on stream, of course. It's one thing to do it on stream. I'll do it on stream all the time. I've already been doing that, but doing it in public is a whole new matter. And getting to, just having one person, more than one person even, just recognize you and appreciate your efforts. It further proves to me that it really doesn't have to be perfect. It's the passion and sharing that passion that really fucking counts. And during the concert, during the Kakariko Village, the trumpet player, when he had his solo, he didn't hit the high note at first, but he hit it halfway through the measure. And I felt that in my soul, because that has happened to me countless times on stream. And when you have a solo and you miss the note, that is soul crushing, and I felt that. But the reality is, and if there's one thing I want to preach, the reality is, let me take a big drink for this. You're good. You can make mistakes. And I feel like this needs to be normalized. Yes, I harp about stream quality and streamers not getting it right, but it is okay to make mistakes, especially in a performance setting. I think the biggest benefactor to that is backing it with passion. If you're in a professional, perfectionist settings, then mistakes are just soul-crushing. But if you are doing it for fun, and you're sharing your passion, if you make a mistake, I'm almost willing to argue. Straight up argue. That's just part of the experience, dude. As that I'm currently trying to record only has mistakes. Bro! 2K, your guitar playing has also inspired me to do stuff of my own. I want you to know that firsthand. Friggin', I love seeing people pursue their passions even if they suck at it. I feel like that is very important. In Alohi's latest album, Patchwork, one of my favorite songs is actually the penultimate song called, fuck, what's it called? Life's Too Short? I'm pretty sure it's called Life's Too Short. Jamie, pull up the album. Wait, let me navigate to the album. Fuck, where's the album? God damn it. Yeah, it's called Life's Too Short. It's track 11 on the Patchwork album. And my favorite part of the song is actually the end of the song. It's the post-chorus outro. And I'll just let you listen to the song, because Miori does a great job. She's one of my favorite V-singers. But freaking, what I get from it is I'm glad that despite living a life of monochrome depression, I'm finally able to smile, and that is something I wouldn't trade for a lot. I'd probably trade it for a lot of riches, because then I could just make myself happy with a lot of riches. That's how it works. But in any case, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling really good. I'm really drunk. And I can't remember who it was. I really wish I could. But I think one of my goals for everything I do, not just streaming, but just for everything I do in general, is to not necessarily inspire someone, but to just demonstrate by example that it's okay to follow your passions and be absolutely fucking terrible at it. It is worth noting that I'm not the best chess player, but I like the game. I do it because I like the game. I don't intend on ever being a really good chess player. That is not in my goals list. I don't want to be a high-level chess player. I like playing chess, and Angel, if you're still lurking, I feel you and I are evenly matched. I love playing with you. You may think that I'm better than you. We're not. That game we played at the restaurant, because I brought my travel chess set, we're evenly matched. You are probably the most worthy opponent that I have, and I love playing it with you on the off chance that we get to play. So, don't feel like I'm gonna body you every time. We truly are evenly matched, that's how I feel. You're probably the most fair opponent I've ever faced. Anyway, I think it's finally time for me to move on, because this next photo is extremely sentimental to me. This is the hilt of my bat. As you can see, there's a lot of ribbons and bands around it. For those who don't know, who have never been to a convention, if you have any sort of cosplay prop that could possibly be interpreted as a weapon, it has to be peace bonded. What that means is you have to go to a designated booth or area that will inspect the prop and verify that it is in fact not a real weapon, and they will confirm with you that you have no intent or no intention on ever using it as a weapon, harming anyone with it, or otherwise brandishing it like a weapon. Now, with those cosplay photos, it's a still image, and it is consensual, so I'm not brandishing it as a weapon, because I clearly intend that, hey, can I get a picture with you posing like I'm about to hit you with the bat for a good photo? I make it very clear, and that's part of con etiquette. And it's also clearly listed in Con TOS. And once you agree to those terms and conditions that you won't treat the weapon like a weapon and it's not a real weapon, then they will attach a ribbon or otherwise indicator that proves that you have agreed to these terms and conditions. Now, at some point on Sunday, that large white ribbon fell off somewhere. And that is this year's peace bonding. It's also worth noting that this picture was taken at around 4:15 p.m. The closing ceremony for the convention was at 4 p.m. I was disallowed entry because the main stage was at capacity. I was kind of bummed, but I was like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna wander. But then I rolled perception on my bat and realized, wait, my peace bond is gone. Shit, that's my evidence of this year's peace bond. I went to the Lost and Found, which doubled as the peace bonding area, but first, I went to the info center. I had to fight to get this white ribbon. Here we go. Bear in mind, this was at the very end of the convention. The convention was technically over. I went to the info center and says, is peace bonding still open? And I presented my bat. And the guy's all like, man, the convention's over. You don't need peace bonding. I'm like, no. And I showed him my ribbons and said, I want peace bonding as evidence I'm collecting. It's like, well, I don't actually know. You could try room 306. It's worth noting that room 306 was where I got it originally peace bonded. I'm like, all right, thank you, man. I head on over to room 306 and there's a line going in. Turns out room 306 is the Lost and Found. Understandable. I get to my turn and I immediately go to the side of the Lost and Found to where peace bonding was. And I said, can I get my bat peace bonded, please? And they look at me. One of them laughs and said, bro, the convention's over. You don't need peace bonding, man. You're good. And I'm like, I'm collecting. I lost my ribbon. Can I please have a ribbon? And they look at me like, oh, well, they were about to decline me. But then one of them said, well, the peace bonding ribbons are on the top shelf. It was on the top shelf. They just put it away so they could easily grab it and retie it. And after they retied it, I almost broke in tears. I said, you just saved my convention, man. You have no idea how grateful I am. That nest from earlier, we have our peace bonds on the hilt of our bat. Pictured in this photo are every peace bond of every convention I've ever been to with this bat. This is my ultimate goal is to just have all the peace bonds and just have this be a legacy of all the fun times I've had sharing my convention stories. And I don't plan on ever stopping. If this bat breaks, which it is showing signs of wear, I'm gonna be very sad. I'm gonna buy another bat, but I might try to do what I can to transfer these peace bonds to the other bat, but that's kind of impossible because two of them are zip ties. Offkai uses zip ties, which is kind of annoying, but it's understandable. But yeah, I got my peace bond. I'm happy. And a legacy of peaceful bondage. Yes! I got my peace bonds, and I took a commemorative photo to signify that I'm still compliant and that I attended Sakuracon 2026. And it is another ribbon on my bat. And I will carry these ribbons until this bat breaks. And I don't intend on breaking this bat anytime soon. It's a rubber baseball bat, by the way. It's just colored to look like it's made of wood, but it's made of rubber. If I smacked you with it, it would hurt, but it wouldn't cause any damage. But I wouldn't smack you because I would damage the bat, actually. It's a prop. So, because I was denied entry to the main stage, I'm like, fuck it. The vendor hall's closed, the con is over, but there's still a lot of cosplayers. Let's get some cosplay photos. So I went around getting cosplay photos. It wouldn't be like this? What do you mean like this? I swear to fucking God. No, it's not a metal bat. No, it's not. In fact, when I go to Offkai, I have to get my sister's specific 37-inch suitcase because my mom's 35-inch suitcase that I brought can't hold the bat. My bat is 37.5 inches in length, so I have to orient it a certain way in the 37-inch suitcase in order to bring it to me to Offkai. And I need that. I straight up need that. I will pay 3 figures for a quality suitcase that is 37 inches in diagonal length just to take my bat. It's that important to me. The bat completes the cosplay. It adds that finishing touch that's like, mwah, chef's kiss. But also, real Mojo Jojo as well as extra Jojo. I lied earlier. We got more Jojo. Fucking Bezos breaks coming, we're skipping it. We're gonna power through the rest of the stream with no more Bezos breaks, because that's it. The stream is gonna end after I'm done here. But yes, we got real Mojo Jojo, freaking commitment to the bit, as well as the actual Jojo. I love this photo. This photo, I'm so glad I got to meet them. I would have never met them if I didn't stick around for the orchestra to get the photo with English Horn Man and Flute Friend. If only that Mojo Jojo wore kick gear? What did he mean by this? The reason why I missed the closing ceremony was because I decided to stick around after the orchestra. Because the orchestra ended almost right in time for the closing ceremony to begin. If I booked it from the orchestra to the closing ceremony, I might have made it. But I made the faulty assumption that, I can just show up at the closing ceremony a little bit late. Nope, it was at capacity. So instead, I wandered around getting cosplay photos, and you know what? All's well that ends well. My buddy misses every closing ceremony. And honestly, after going to the closing ceremony last year, I would prefer to attend the closing ceremony, but it is okay to miss it. It's not like the Off-Kai closing ceremony where I really want to attend that. No, like the Sakuracon closing ceremony, it's fine. The AMVs, though, were pretty good. Tadanu shared me the AMV video, and man, I still have last year's AMVs in my mind, the ones that won. Those are really good. Those AMV creators are actually really crazy creative, and I love it. Also, shoutouts to the Artemis 2 crew who have safely boarded the aircraft carrier and are coming home. I love to fucking see it. Let's fucking go. I still find it absolutely wild that while I was at a convention, 4 human beings were orbiting the moon. Like, straight up. That is absolutely wild and wonderful. Like, that's some good shit. I love it. I actually love it. That's some good stuff. Let's continue. I met another link. This particular link, I already did my Sadia's song drive-by like 3 times now, but I got a picture of him. Now, my picture idea was him blocking my baseball bat with his shield. So that's where this photo came from. And we had someone take the photo, and it's like, yeah, let's fucking go. I love getting creative photos like this, and if you're at Off-Kai, please cosplay. I will be at Off-Kai this year, and if you see me, please approach me. I will love you. Maybe a bit too much, but don't worry about it. Now, after the convention, I ran into this Ike and Soren from Fire Emblem Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn, and they gave me con ribbons, which I will reveal after the slideshow. I didn't know con ribbons were a thing at Sakuracon, but here we are. They gave me con ribbons. Sweet. I know ribbons are a thing. No, they're from... God fucking damn it, May. I swear to fucking God, May. I swear to God. No! 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 They're from Fire Emblem. I played Path of Radiance. I played the first half of Radiant Dawn before putting it down because it was too hard, because I played on normal and I wasn't ready. Because English fucked the difficulty. God, I'm drunk. Oh my god. Well, when you're drunk, there's only one thing to do. Drink more. But yeah. I got surrounded by ribbons. They gave me so many ribbons. I'm all like, I mean, con's over. Imagine. The con has already ended, and not only did you get your prop piece bonded, but you also get con ribbons. After the convention. Shoutouts to this Ike and Soren for being total bros, even though I'm pretty sure both of them were women. They were total bros. I'm so glad I met them. Like, they made my after con very nice. However, after con, I wandered back to the arcade, which was still open, and I ran into this Ryu. I'm like, yo, Ryu, let's get a photo of you about to parry my bat in Counter-Strike. So yeah, we got this photo, which was really nice. One of the few unedited photos, so I get to dox myself. So this is what I look like from behind. So if you see me at Offkai, I will look exactly like this from behind or the side. So feel free to just walk up to me and say, yo, Ness, I will be very happy to meet you. Straight up. I'm gonna have the time of my life. And I'm gonna take extra precautions to not be dying at Offkai this year. Now, earlier in stream, I mentioned that I posed with a professional cosplayer. And this is her. The Mononoke Hime cosplayer. She had a professional photographer, and I patiently waited for them to finish, because I was still in wandering post-con mode. This is the area behind that Park Plaza area where all the crazy good cosplayers gather for professional photography. I was like, hey, can I get a photo with you, please? And she said yes. I'll screech right off the bat one day. I hope you're talking about me, because you have my consent. Anyway, I'm glad this photo turned out the way it did. She's pretty short, I'm pretty short, so we get from behind. Oh, giggity. So, this was pretty nice. I like this. I think this might be the last cosplay photo that I took. So the first and last cosplay photos of my photo album are of some of the best cosplays I've seen at the convention. Let's fucking go. Nice bat? Thanks, you too. I actually bought this bat at Sakuracon 2024. I was wandering the vendor hall when I came across a cosplay prop vendor, and they had a bunch of different props. And I said, man, if they had a wooden bat, I'd be interested. And the guy running the stall, he just tapped my shoulder and pointed up at the wooden bat, and I'm like, oh no. And I said, how much? He said $30. This is probably the best $30 I've ever spent in my life. My bat is part of me at conventions. And at Offkai, I think my bat actually helps keep wrongdoing, like, bad actor strangers away. I recall last year at Offkai, there was a somewhat dubious troop of people that approached me saying, hey, can I see that bat? And I just clutched the bat close to me and said, no, it's mine. And they backed off immediately. I'm like, you know what? It looks like a real bat. You don't want to fuck around and find out. But if you do find out, you'll find out that it's made of rubber. But if you don't know that, it looks like it's made of real wood. This is the best prop investment I've ever had. Like, okay, for a convention, yes. My Wawa is probably the best prop investment because holy shit, I have a fucking airsoft Wawa, but that's besides the point. Yes, I have the fabled Ares Airsoft WA 2007. It's Luffy made? Yes, the One Piece is real. I don't think I saw any One Piece cosplays. You could be the first. Let me take a sippy. Mononoke Hime. Can I play Mononoke Hime? Let me try it. Let's fucking go. I'm pretty sure I played that during my flute busking in the Summit building on Saturday morning. It's in the key of F, which is quite nice. It's easy because F only has one flat, and if you're playing a bass instrument, it's all natural because most bass instruments, I believe, are in the key of F. Correct me if I'm wrong. Tadadu, if you're in chat, correct me if I'm wrong, but bass clef is also called F clef because it's in the key of F. I might be wrong about that. I don't actually know about bass clef. I've never studied bass clef. But Tadadu is a natural bass, and honestly, I'm kind of jealous. But you know what? I have the high voice, he has the low voice. Different friends are good at different things. I accept it. Let's get to the next picture. I am really drunk. Oh my god, I am so fucking drunk right now. Oh my god. Bass clef, yeah, the dots surround F below middle C. Nice. But Mononoke is in C minor. God damn it. It's fine. That's not the last cosplay photo. In the train station, I saw this Yor and Anya, and instead of getting their picture, I said, hey, because I saw buff Anya, can I get a flex? And they both flexed. I am so happy. I have too much fun at conventions, I'm telling you what. I will never miss an opportunity ever again. I've missed too many fucking opportunities. I have learned the hard way too many goddamn times that I'm like, we're gonna have fun. As that quote from Haruhi Suzumiya. Freaking, it's better to regret doing something than not doing it. And I have no fucking regrets from this con. I'm gonna explain how I feel about this con after I'm done. But I got them to flex in the train station. For those who want to dox me, this is the Westlake Station, which is very close to the Seattle Convention Center, which is where Sakuracon is held. Day by day, Unzari Daione? I don't know who that is. Oh, wait, that's the first step. On the train home! Taters, if you're lurking! Taters, tune into the stream. First monitor content. Plane, airplane spotted. On the train home, I was talking to a guy, a random, on the way home, when I saw this UPS plane coming in for landing at SeaTac Airport. Either that or it was Boeing Field. I got these photos of the plane landing. Let's fucking go. Plane spotting. I wasn't expecting to go plane spotting. I'm so happy. Let's fucking, it was so close. I'm like, yo, airplane, let's go. Like, let me rewind a bit. This plane was so fucking close. It flew right over the train. I am so happy that I got to see a plane coming in. Yes, it's a UPS plane, but I don't care. Plane is plane. I'm happy. This is a good opportunity. I halted the convo with the guy. Turns out the guy I was talking to was also a Boeing worker, but he wasn't an engineer. He was one of the shop floor workers. I got home and I get home and my cat is so happy to see me. I'm like, all right, cat. This is my cat. Everybody say hi, cat. We get impromptu cat cam, even though this is my cat. She was elated to see me. She missed me so damn much. To the point, she was licking me. And I dropped everything and we just immediately went outside. She hasn't gotten to go outside all weekend. The weather was good. I just attached this leash and took her outside. Oh, you remembered her name. Nice. But we went outside with Cat. Very happy, very nice. And yeah, that's my story of my convention. Now, between the train and the cat, my mom wanted me to drive home, and I said, Mom, I can't fucking drive. My legs and feet are dead. I stood on the whole train ride home because I didn't get to sit down because of my luggage, and I can't drive. So she drove me home, much to my chagrin, because my mom is an Asian driver. But that's besides the point. The point is, I got home safely. I took the cat outside, and when I got back inside, I took a picture of all my goodies. Now, I would like to highlight, first and foremost, I'm going to explain everything in this picture one by one. The black bar on the left is my Ethernet cable strip that is covered by a cable protector that keeps me from tripping over it. Don't worry about that. On the very top, recall earlier in the stream when Zap Brannigan tossed me that prize at that first Zap panel. That was the prize. It was a lanyard full of nothing but anime girl booties in thongs. Which is funny because of all my fetishes, asses is not one of them. While yes, I will squeeze an ass and I like having my butt touched, I do not have a butt fetish. If when it comes to tits and ass, I am neither. So this lanyard does nothing for me. I thought it was funny. To the left of that lanyard is my prize from the cosplay panel, where I got to put cosplay clothes on half-naked men. It is a Korean piggy bank, and by piggy bank, I mean tin can bank. I can put coins in the top slot there, and once I can peel it open and retrieve the coins at a later date. So you don't even like when someone wants to ask you a question? You can ask me whatever you want. The worst I can say is bibide babide boo-wah, bibide boo-wah. Oh yeah? Imagine coins? Imagine. Below that is a QR code of an interviewer that okay, so I ran into a TikTok interviewer. I think he was serious, but I don't think he realized you ran into the least serious person at the convention. He was holding TikTok interviewers. He interviewed me, and the question was, how did you assemble your cosplay? So I happily answered, I am Ness Earthbound from Sans Undertale, or something like that. And I assembled my cosplay by using my PSI powers to thread all of these yellow and blue threads together to make this shirt. And I think it turned out pretty well. I answered every question as facetiously as possible. If you see a Ness on TikTok, it might be me. It's fine, don't worry about it. To the immediate right of that is that Polaroid picture that I got with Otsukare, and above that picture is the Sexy Bidoof sticker that the Sexy Bidoof gave me. Below that is the lanyard and Sakuracon badge that I had around my neck the whole time. What's the name for the TikTok? I don't know. I never got that far. If you scan that QR code and if it registers, it might take you there. In the center of the photo is the updated autopsy report that Apollo Justice gave me. It is actually a replica of the first updated autopsy report that you get from the first Phoenix Wright game. To the right of the autopsy report are the ribbons that I received from the Fire Emblem cosplayers, as well as a King K. Rool cosplayer that I never got a photo of. The King K. Rool cosplayer just handed me the ribbon, and I'm like, sweet, more ribbon, thank you. To the right of that is a Loki sticker. On Friday, I met a Loki in the Skybridge. I didn't get his photo, but we had some funny conversations, and I gave him a Joker card with my magic trick because he was funny enough to get a Joker card. I handed out, and I counted from my deck, I handed out 15 Joker cards at this convention. I plan on handing out even more at Offkai. The QR code won't work. Message me about the QR code about the TikTok interview and I can get a better picture of that thing. So you can QR code it later. You already know what I look like, dude. It's fine. But yeah. I'm the Joker, baby. Let's fucking go. But yeah, that's basically all of the things from... Oh, my cat. My cat photobombed it. My cat was glued to me. When I got... Like, the next 24 hours after I got home, my cat was glued to me. She was all over me. 24/7. She wanted to be by me, all the attention. We went outside for so long on the Monday morning following that. Squimsh the cat. The cat has reverted back to her usual fuck you, I do what I want mode. But after I got home, she was all over me. She missed me so much. I am so glad I have bonded with my cat so hard. That is how I was with my cat. And with that concludes my Sakuracon recap. I am extremely drunk. I believe I covered everything I wanted to do. But while I'm drunk, allow me to explain you guys plans for the future. Now, I've explained in Discord, which you should totally join, by the way. If you're not in my Discord, you should join, because I am extremely active in my Discord. There's the link. The link in chat works. The link below stream does not, and that is by design. That is to keep spam bots out, and to make sure that anyone who joins my Discord actually joins from stream and doesn't join from whatever the fuck. I mean, I'm cool if you want to join. Anyone's welcome. Well, almost anyone's welcome. But next week, I have jury duty, possibly. So, because of that, I cannot actually commit to a hard schedule next week. So what the plan is that I will ping the Twitch role in my server if I'm gonna stream that day. And I do plan on streaming consistently next week. I cannot commit to a schedule because of jury duty. But the schedule will be as usual, like I normally do. It's worth noting that all of my pings in my server are opt-in and not opt-out. You will not be pinged in my server unless you explicitly opt-in, or unless it is a very seldom, very rare emergency at everyone. I think I at everyone once or twice a year. I'm very respectful about it, which brings me back to how I feel like it goes understated how mutual respect between viewer and listener, that's the same thing. Streamer and viewer go a long way. I think Taters was the first to point out that he appreciates how my server, it automatically disables notifications by default. I said it that way on purpose. If you join my server, you don't get you don't get notified unless you purposely opt in to get notified for new messages and pings. That's how I set it up on purpose. Restrict, yes. I feel like I low-key pride myself on my Discord server being the very unrestricted. And I think that's why my server is so active. And I low-key take pride in it because I know that, hey, my philosophy worked. It's fine. I use emails for Twitch. Holy shit. That's next level. Understandable. Have a great day. Well, join the server. You won't get pings, I promise. Unless you want them, in which it's just a matter of mouse clicks to enable the rules for the pings that I ping. But I will be pinging when I stream next week. Which I'm gonna aim for Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But I have no guarantee of that because of jury duty. I genuinely have no way of knowing when I am going to stream until the day of. So thank you in advance for your understanding. I'm going to try to stream Mario next week, as well as my usual music streams and Girls Frontline. Unrestricted unless you beat him at his own meme. It is so easy to beat me at my own memes. I am always memeing all the fucking time. I just finished my drink. But anyway, thanks for coming to my off-kite Sakuracon recap. I don't plan on streaming over the weekend, and I will notify you guys, hopefully in the morning, when I stream next. But I hope this was fun. I do plan on going to more conventions, namely Off-Kai this summer and Sakuracon every year, because it is a relatively local convention in Seattle, Washington. It takes me like 2 hours to get there, but now you can dox me. Just look up all addresses 2 hours away from Seattle and bam, there I am. Anyway, thank you for coming. Off-Kai Resta! Welcome! Wait, Resta, are you streaming? No, you're not. Damn it. Shit. But thanks for coming, Resta, even if it's at the very end of stream. Shoutouts to Resta. Go follow Resta. Okay. You know what? While I'm drunk and sappy, Resta has done so much for my confidence when it comes to streaming and convention shenanigans. Because Resta was actually the very first VTuber that I met at a convention for VTubers. She was the first legitimate connection that I got to make. And I will never forget that. So, thank you, Resta. You mean more than you know. So, Off-Kai is next. That's later this July. But until then, I am incredibly drunk and incredibly in a good mood. Catch me in the Discord, which I'm gonna link again, because I'm not done. I'm gonna be in the Discord and yapping and doing whatever and sobering up. I have Gatorade right here. I am prepared. We're good. I hope you enjoyed my recounting of my experiences with Sakuracon 2026. If you have any questions, I will happily answer them in the Discord, or just ask them whenever. I actually had a conversation with 2 different friends. Whenever someone asks me, can I ask you something? I always hit them back with, you can ask me literally anything, and I promise I won't get mad. I believe that it is always okay to ask a question, no matter how outlandish or stupid it is. I feel like the only inappropriate questions to ask are ones that directly invade privacy. Other than that, I feel like anything's fair game. Gator Aid, see you later, Gator Man. Thanks, you too. But I feel like I can appreciate them wanting to be polite and not wanting to offend me, but honestly, just talk to me, man. I'm cool with whatever. Damn, I did that, Lamau. What size is your PP? 5 inches. Anyway, wait, flaccid or erect? I actually have like 200 something PP for extra PSI power, but don't worry about it. Anyway, who can I raid? Who's online? Where are we at? Let's see. Also, I don't even know if my measurement is correct, because I think that measurement is greatly outdated. That was like 10 years ago. I may have grown or shrunk since then. So take it with a grain of salt. Anyway, let's see. That's a big PowerPoint. I'll show you a big PowerPoint. Japanese learning stream grab. Oh, hey, Marbo Elder's online. She's someone I met at Offkai. Let's fucking go. Oh my god, it's already 7:30 p.m. where I live. Let's fucking go. Okay. We are going to raid Marpo Elder. How do you spell it? Marpo Elder. She is streaming Slay the Spire 2. Marbo Elder is a VTuber I met at Offkai last year, just like how I met Resta at Offkai in 2024. She is streaming Slay the Spire 2. She is fun. And some of you motherfuckers are already in stream. I am so proud of you. This is wonderful. Seeing you guys in my friend streams is a wonderful feeling, because I know we're sharing the love. I've been streaming for 3 hours and 35 minutes. Holy shit. Anyway, let's say hi to Marpo. Are you aspiring, son? Sure, say whatever the fuck you want. Are you, and then insert whatever you want, son. That is my raid message. Thank you so much for coming to my super drunk, more drunk than expected Offkai Sakuracon recap. I keep saying Offkai because I really like Offkai. It's a life-changing experience. Go to a con if you haven't already. It is so fucking worth it. You have no idea how great it is. And with that, I'm gonna toss you all to Marvo Elder, and I will catch you all next time, which will be next week sometime. Let's all go bother Marpo. Thank you for coming. You all mean a lot to me, more than you fucking know.